28. Not hearing any. Oh, there we go. There was a weird delay on the audio. My bad. So, anyway, I just completely brain farted. Blah, blah, blah. Hate it when that happens. Anyway, yeah, so welcome to season 2, episode 28. We are joined by two lovely faces that we have missed very dearly, one Randy and one Kylie. So let's get into an introduction, and then we'll do a small recap, in case you haven't seen the one on YouTube or the one we posted just now on our Twitter. And yeah, then we'll get right into it. Let's start off with Wes. Wes, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hello, everyone. I am Wes. I play Dragon Targir, the Duskwalker Magus, and I'm very excited for tonight. It is exciting. Also, we're he/him.
Awesome. Well, next to see, next in her back in her seat, Sidney. Please, Sidney, tell me who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are. Sorry, that came out way more antagonistic than I had in my brain. So sorry.
I had to pee. Hi, my name is Sidney. I play Alona, the half-elf cloister cleric, and our pronouns are she/her.
Yeah. Randy, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hey, I'm Randy Alvarenga, and I play Lothier Vanlinson, our human druid.
Nice. And last and certainly not least, we have Kylie. Kylie, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hi, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. I play Shionibus, the Elven Ranger, and we both go by she/her.
Nice. Sam could not join us tonight because Sam is in Gen Con. So if you're there and you're seeing this and you go see her, tell her we miss her, tell her we love her, and we hope that she has a great time in Gen Con. That being said, my name is PJ. I am the GM for Edge of Legend and Nat 20 Productions official here on Twitch. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing everyone and everything in between. Quick recap, if you haven't had the chance, check it out on our Twitter or our YouTube. We just got that bad boy up there. So, if you haven't seen it yet, understandable. Here's what you missed. So last week, after Alona and Dragon woke up from their alternate universe dreamscape where they were living in West Acadia, aka West Hollywood, they woke up to this world, the 25 miles of mud and death called the Death Trenches of New Jack City. They are met by a very tall woman with a very large weapon. Her name is Camouflage, at least that's what everyone calls her, and she proceeds to basically shepherd these folks across the trenches. They first get attacked by a herd of angry Tyrannosaurus Rexes, where there was an attempt to ride one. Didn't really go into a ride, turned into a bit of a mud rustle. But the fact that someone could mud rustle a dinosaur is pretty damn impressive. And then, of course, the barrage of pixies that tried to drown them. It was a whole terrible affair. Going through each different trench, learning about the different culture and the motto and the environment of each trench, they kind of just drag themselves over easily 10, 12 miles of mud and death until they finally got to Trench 10. And in Trench 10 is where they met a wonderful woman by the name of Camille, who happens to be someone who calls himself a mud druid. She gave them a rock that has become one of the new pets of the party. His name is Jefferson, and there he is. I've already started to stat that rock and come up with some crazy ideas for further seasons for that rock, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, as the night comes to a close on Trench 10, the Night Witches of New Jack City go about their nightly patrols on the hunt for dragons and horrible creatures. And that's where we ended episode 10. I'm sorry, episode 27 in Trench 10. And we're picking things up from there. Now, I'll let the party decide. Do you want to get role play before a long night's rest, or do you want to have role play in the morning with breakfast?
I think that depends on, can Alona sleep, or is she still cursed?
Oh, that's a very good point. That's right. You had a curse. I said you couldn't sleep.
Did I have a nap?
Give me a will save, Sydney.
Oh god. Oh no. Okay. This is the same dice from last week, so they've had a week to rest. So I think they'll be better. And they are. Thank God.
It was a 3 this time.
Jeez. That's a 34. It's your
Okay.
turn, Wes. You're gonna get the rough rolls
I
this
know,
week.
I know it. I know it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Every time I give you crap, I roll so bad.
Well, on that sound, Wes, please give me a willpower save or will save as well.
Oh, okay. So it's a nat 19 on the die, and you said it was a
Ooh.
will save? So that's a 30.
Yes.
30.
30. Nice. So, everyone upon entering the magical mud fields of New Jack City received a certain curse by the sort of wrath and unfortunate remorse of Isix. Ichi couldn't talk. Alona couldn't sleep. And Dragon couldn't whisper or alter the volume of his voice beyond a loud, flat tone. And here's the curses you're going to get. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Randy, you can't hold, in this human form, you can't hold anything heavier than 10 pounds.
Okay.
Kylie, you always taste like bad cheese. Like in your mouth. You can always taste
No!
that.
No! Everyone's like, I can't carry anything higher than 10 pounds. I just can't whisper. I fucking, what, PJ?
Yeah. Mhm.
That's
You
the
can't
worst of
taste
them.
anything but stinky cheese.
That
That's
makes me
horrible.
very
Don't you?
happy.
You do. I knew it. I knew it the whole time. You hate me. I know it.
I hate because I love. That makes no sense. So yeah, now this is a good point in time if you want to try and break the curse. If you have a remove curse spell or a ritual, if you would like to try and willpower it off of you by the end of the night, you can do that now.
I would love to, because I can't pick up anything. You see him just like trying to like move luggage, like his bag, and it's a little too heavy probably.
Did I roll out of it out of curiosity?
With a nat 19 in the die phase, you have absolutely rolled out of it.
Yeah.
Same with Sidney, you rolled out of it.
Love this
If I
for me.
did want to roll against it, what kind of roll is that?
If you want to try and do a will save to break it, you can.
Yeah, will is my best one. So,
Also, did I have a nap?
ooh,
Well, I think we're deciding whether or not you're actually going to bed or not.
Oh, okay.
22.
22. You pass.
All right. So he realizes that he can't pick up anything, is very stressed, and he's like, this is no good. And he just like grabs a seat down in the mud, feeling really comfortable, really at home a little bit for a moment, and meditates to just like bolster his willpower to sort of push it off. And
Okay.
he does.
I love that. The mud, you can almost feel like you ever see those charts where it's like the Tai Chi charts or like the Naruto chi charts where you see an energy either internally or externally flowing through a cycle within your core and then leaving you. Once you're in the mud, you literally feel that experience. You literally feel the minerals in the mud moving through your body, and it is peppy. Like back home, your mud's basically dead. Here, it's so rich and decadent. It's like having chocolate mousse, but for the soul.
Okay.
Chocolate mousse for the soul.
It's a great slogan.
We'll make a book of that. Yeah.
Oh, look, a new Bun Boys slogan.
Bun boys for the soul. I love that.
Well, I was gonna say it's a cake wheel with chocolate mousse in it.
True. Oh, and you miss it. In the alternate universe, Bun Boys was basically like Starbucks.
So,
It was
I
great.
mean, that tracks with where I thought it would end up.
Also,
Cake wheels
Ichi
were
was an
raspberries.
actor.
Oh,
Randy was an activist, like an environmentalist, and Shionibus was murdering demons somewhere.
That's
So nothing's
so
changed.
nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed.
at all.
Nope, it's great.
Yeah, and Alona was an influencer, And
No.
Dragon was a rock star.
Oh, I like this
I like
universe.
that.
It's kind
I
of
like
fun.
that.
We
It
need,
was
to,
pretty
we need to
cool.
visit again.
We'll definitely have more episodes, maybe with a different plot line, but more episodes in the West Acadia alternate universe. But Kylie, do you want to do a willpower to remove your curse? I don't remember if you give me that number or not.
Yes, I do. I rolled a 23.
23. You broke it, thankfully. Tell me, much like Randy, use the mud to kind of cleanse his body. How are you getting rid of the taste of bad cheese?
Everyone literally sees Shionavis like scraping off her tongue, like and just like she's gonna like look at like Dragon and then Alona and just like everyone and just like takes mud and just
Are you all right? Why are you eating mud?
and then she's just like immediately like spits it out like, oh, gross.
The minute you spit out the mud, you see this almost cartoony block of green moldy cheese come with it. And I mean cartoony in that it is vibrant and comically green. It even has the lines coming off of it. You spit it out, it seems to be pulled out of your mouth like it was stuck there the whole time. And once it leaves you, it just vanishes. Everyone around you is like drinking, smoking, playing cards. Someone's got a guitar, and they look and they go, "Oh, you must be new." Yep, that happens. And they just go back to doing whatever it is they were doing, like it wasn't a thing.
She's gonna look at the party and be like, did everyone see that? Because I will not be doing it again. And like pops the cork of her wine and just like drinks, chugs a little just to get the flavor out, just so she can have at least something nice. And
What?
just pops it back on.
What I'd like to do is take out the jar that I've been keeping that mushroom in, and I'd like to put some mud in it at the bottom.
Ooh.
Because there's something interesting going on here. for
Give
to
me a
study.
nature check, yeah.
Cool. 14 plus. I love being level 7. So 1 second. 31.
31. Damn. Okay. So you take the mud and you put it into the mushroom. You see a bunch of other mushrooms identical to it start growing insanely quick, almost like watching that stop time footage that's sped up. You're seeing these mushrooms grow in real time. These mushrooms at the circle of mold and fungus are like, we don't have a lot of these. You suddenly see them sprout up. It gets to the part where they're actually bulging against the glass of your jar.
Oh.
Now, the main one, you're starting to see it not age as in like getting old and decaying. You see it age as in it's shifting. The coloration starts to change. The spots begin to kind of grow and shrink. And a little bit of, maybe a little bit of mold and fungus starts to grow. A little bit of a fuzzy texture starts to grow on it.
Oh.
Would Dragon see this?
Up to Randy.
Yeah.
What? How did you just do that?
I just kind of, I just meditated, and this mud, it feels great. I don't think I've ever felt anything like this in my entire life. And then I watched Chionobis, we're not going to talk about it. And and then that told me that there's some special properties here, which we already knew, but I just kind of guessed that it would help the mushroom grow. And
Like duplicated it.
yeah, this is powerful. I want to study this a bit. You know what? I should probably look for Camille. I definitely wanted to try to talk to her a bit.
So in the trench, and the trench is usually like got like a 20, maybe 50-foot gap extension. So there's enough space for activity. It's still very cramped considering the number of people here. You see 2 tunnels kind of going deeper into the trench. You happen to see by this large it probably used to be an oil container. Lids off. It's filled with wooden detritus. It's on fire. This nice warm orange spark breaks through the night, and you see someone on guitar and a few people singing and dancing and drinking out of their canteens. And around them, you see Camille sitting in the mud, kind of hands behind her, butt planted, just laughing and singing a song along with everyone else as they just kind of enjoy another night being alive.
Awesome. He stands silently with his staff, and he kind of just leans against it for a moment, listening and enjoying the song that they're singing, and waits for a moment where the revelry sort of dies down so he can excuse me, Camille. I don't believe we've had a chance to talk much yet.
She kind of turns her head to see you, and she goes, "Oh my, hi, yeah, your friends told me about you. Unfortunately, we haven't really had a chance to chat. It's a pleasure to meet you."
The pleasure is absolutely mine. I don't even know where to start. My friends shared that you were a member of the Order of the Mud, right?
Yep, that's right. At least I think I am now that, my teacher's gone.
Right. I'm from Brack myself, and I'm looking to learn a bit more about your order. I want to be a member if possible. I've been studying the Druidic arts, and I'm doing my best, but I'd love to learn a bit. Sorry.
Well, no, that's fine. Well, shoot my gun and call me Missy. Yeah, no, I'd be very happy to teach you whatever you want. I should say it's so great to meet you. My parents were from Brack. They moved down here years ago. Well, because about the land out there, they were farmers. They couldn't quite handle it, and they came here and just became hardworking folk of the city. Yeah, but I'd love to help you out.
Wow, and you studied under the arch druid from the order, right?
Yeah, the Archdruid of the Mud. At least that's what he called himself. Did they show you that photo? I don't know if you got a chance to see it.
No, I haven't.
Hold on. I think. And she reaches and she pulls out another one. She goes, I got a few before he left. And you see this tin photo. So it's got this kind of nice, like, aluminum backing. And clipped to it is this old black and white Polaroid of her in her military uniform jumper, with a bunch of leather spats and other diesel punk accoutrement. And you see a man next to her who looks blow for blow. He looks just like Taika Waititi with like a big like mustache right here on the upper lip. And he's just got the goofiest wave and smile. He's also wearing the olive drab but he's wearing an officer's uniform. And he's like, yeah, this was my teacher. He just called himself the Archdruid of Mud. He said he was from Brack. And I guess he could recognize my folks were too, because my accent. And, when we're all mudders stuck in the mud forever, kind of makes perfect sense, right?
Right. It makes total sense. I 100% agree. But how did you come to learn from him, though? And like, what brought him here? How long has he been gone? Sorry. I'm going to calm down and listen.
Oh, no, it's fine. Right. So it all started. Oh gosh, this must have been a few years ago. I've been mudding. I've been a mudder for like 5 years now. So the day I knew I was a mudder was the day I knew I couldn't go back home, like all mudders do, right? And I knew on the day, because I was out in a mission, I had to go one trench over to help with a supply depot that got stuck. And when I was down there, we got set upon by werewolves. And it was nasty. These fellers had a bite for days, and we were getting chomped left, right, and center. And when one was coming upon me, the mud actually, like, I sank right in. And then I felt these arms around my armpits, and I got pulled out of a mud wall, and there he was. And he told me that he found me. He saw me. And then he told me how I can help basically push the mud. And together we basically shooed those dogs away like we were bop them on the nose. You know what I mean? Just bop, and they ran.
Wow. That must have been a sight.
he was a funny man. He had jokes for days, took nothing seriously, but he never backed down from a challenge. I tell you what.
All right, but I guess I've got one question, which is, you said mutters as if there were many. Have you met any others?
Oh, oh no. I'm so sorry. See, we have a term out here. See, in New Jack City, everyone has to volunteer time in the trenches because, well, I'm sure like you saw, we're always under attack from magical beings. AAE's out the ass, as they say. And some folk, once they get in the mud gets into them and they just can't go home. They keep saying the sky's too big, city's too loud. They just can't. And so they stay here. They stay in the mud. We call them mudders. They're not volunteers anymore. The mud's got them.
I see. I'm trying to find the Archdruid. Like I said, I'm trying to learn, and I'm obviously I'm trying to learn from you whatever I can, but Brack is in need of someone who can help it. And I think the Archdruid might have some information on how to do that, maybe.
Well, that's what he thought too. I remember one day he was looking at a book, and he threw it against the wall, and he said something like, "I'll show you what." I can't quite do his accent. He had a funny accent, and he told me that no amount of agricultural science has been able to fix Brack. Maybe the Failvanane, I think that's how they're called, could. And so he found a way to, how would he put it? Slip the fabric of dimensional reality and move through the chaos of song and music to find those who might save Brack. And the only reason why I can remember that, I wrote it in my journal because it was the weirdest sentence I have ever heard. Here, you can look at my journal, girl. I don't care. Ain't no secrets here.
I mean, that's mighty nice. Thank you. I'll only read this one part. I promise. Wow. That's incredible. All right. It looks like I know. But how?
He said something about a hand of some kind. I don't quite know myself, but he mentioned this hand a lot. That's the key, at least the one key that he found for going to the Failvanane.
A hand. All right. Oh, Camille, I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am just to have met another person who has these abilities. I'm the only person that I've ever heard of, and what I've learned has been only through trying to study and learn myself. Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you. It's good to know that no matter where I'm standing in this world, somewhere out there across the muds, I got a brother.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Now you'd be awfully kind of Jefferson. He was really appreciative that I got his wet butt out of the mud, and I'm not giving away that rock for free now. You got to walk it twice a day.
All right, I will make sure that we walk it. And what's his favorite food?
I never asked him what his favorite food was. I've just been letting him sit there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the best. I'll find out. And thank you. You words can't repay the kindness you've given me today.
Well, shoot, it's not every day I get to meet a long lost brother I never knew I had.
All right, I'll get out of your hair and let you get back to the singing and revelries. But if you ever need to find us, we're gonna be traveling a bit. But hey, maybe you could write a letter to a Bumboys or something. Look for Chio, or maybe Ichi. All of the rest of my friends, they're pretty well known. Someone will get that letter to us, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would love that. Okay, I found out this cool trick Right. I want to teach this to you. Okay. So two things. As mud druids, I mean, you've experienced this. You'd probably be able to move mud around or turn things into mud, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Right. Have you ever been encapsulated in a rock-like structure and then moved through the earth by itself?
Yes, but it wasn't on purpose. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, well, let me tell you something funny about mud and everything else. There's always on purpose. It's just not yours. Now, that being said, we can do that with mud. I can basically encapsulate myself in a mud bubble and move through mud fast as you please. Now, I don't because, well, mud is thicker than water for a reason, and I don't know where I'm coming out until I get there, so I don't like to take them chances. But we can also talk through mud.
Oh my God. Oh, all right. Where do you begin?
I'm so ready. He starts pulling out like some parchment paper to try to take some notes, and he's ready to go.
While all this is happening, Dragon's just gonna lean into Chio and just be like, "What a bunch of nature nerds!"
Right? I was thinking the same thing.
Right.
Oh my god.
Man, journals talking about mud.
Right? Do you think they like have samples of everywhere they've gone to test mud?
That would be so like a bunch of dirt samples. I don't know.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, I just took one myself like a few seconds ago. So.
Nerds.
Bunch of nerds.
We're the cool ones, right?
Yeah.
And Ichi too.
Yeah, you're like the goddess of death. I do lightning spells and stuff, and then Ichi's like a wrestling champions. We got to be the cool ones, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. She's
Okay.
gonna high five Dragon.
Yep.
Morel leans over and goes to Alona, "We're totally the cool ones. It's totally us."
I know what I guess.
Tobias just goes, "My God, you're the biggest nerds here." He's looking to Morel and Alona.
Alona's writing in her journal. Rel called me cool today.
So here's what I want to do with this moment, Randy. You are effectively learning magic. So in order to do this, we're going to make a nature check for you to learn new spells. So you can either roll for one spell at a time, the move through mud or the speak through mud, or you can do one advanced check to get both of them. The DC, of course, will be higher to learn them both in one sitting.
Okay. I'm so nervous, but I'm excited. I want to learn them both because that is the cooler thing to do. So we're gonna try.
Okay.
Please, dice.
And nature is a pretty high stat for you, high school for you, I should say.
Yeah, it's the highest.
Good.
It won't matter because I got a nat 20.
Oh,
Shut the
what?
fuck up!
Nice.
Are you serious?
Hell
I'm
yeah.
100% serious. So that would be a 30. Let me just double check. That would be
37.
yeah, it's a 37.
37. Yeah, that's a critical. You have learned now these are all first level spells, but you can heighten them for greater effect. There's mud walking, where you basically get to move twice your normal movement speed only through mud per casting this one action spell. And the same with mud talking. It works like message. However, it can only go to someone in mud. But because it's so niche, you can do it across the planet.
Shut the fuck up.
But it's
That's
only
awesome.
through mud.
Only
If you're
through
like,
mud.
if you're like, no, that means they too have to have mud. So if you're surrounded in mud and they're not, it's not going to go anywhere. But if you're in mud and they're in mud, 24/7 across the entire planet.
Hold up.
Okay.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if Lothier just carries around a jar of dirt and then
Mm-hmm.
pours water on it, he can communicate with anyone on the planet.
So long as they are also,
If they are in mud.
if they are in mud,
Wait.
and I mean in mud.
You've learned
Damn.
mud phone.
Yes. Yes.
A
Now,
modular
this-
phone.
Now this is great because now obviously mud technically exists all over the planet, but in varying degrees of it. You have to know the person you want to talk to and know that they will be in mud. If you try to use this spell and they are not in mud, the spell is wasted.
Got it.
Wait.
So it gets very dicey, but it's very powerful. Now, that being said, she wants to teach this to you in song.
Aww.
So she says that they have a number of songs, like trench songs, that they sing, like soldier songs that they do. And there's, I think, I'm going to say 4 favorites that they all have. Right.
Mhm.
And she's like, pick which one you want. They'll play the accompaniment. Everyone will kick up. We'll just see if we can sing through the mud at each other.
All right.
So the 4 songs you have are the Ballad of the 740D, Go Night Witches Go. I'm gonna kick myself for this one. They Shall Not Pass. And oh gosh, and the last one is the Ballad of Camouflage.
Aw.
Ooh. I kind of want to hear that one too. I want to hear They Shall Not Pass. I'm sorry, PJ.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just got to get the lyrics really fast.
Did you write 4 songs?
No, I'm stealing them.
Okay.
Straight up. I am talented in a lot of things. That is
I was about to say, damn. But I mean, it's still badass because you added them in the game.
Well, thank you. Okay. Now here's the thing. Do you want me to actually send you the lyrics, or do you want me to just kind of lead you and then you just kind of have to rack it up along the way?
There's pressure. Let's go. I will just listen and try to get it.
Okay.
And then at the end you can send me the lyrics.
Cool. And all right, and to be fair, you're doing They Shall Not Pass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So the guitar switches from this light kind of jaunty like the guy's just playing around, having some uplifting, and she kind of gets a smile on her face when you say that you want to hear They Shall Not Pass, and then she turns and she's like, excuse me, Mr. Guitar Player, could we get the theme song of the Fighting First Trench, please? They Shall Not Pass. Everyone just goes, oh shit. They start like throwing over their apple boxes and they start like pounding this rhythm, this like heavy battle drum rhythm on their wooden boxes. And the guitarist starts going to all power chords and starts playing this fast and intense series of riffs. And she says, okay, now we're going to learn how to do message talk, mud speaking, mud talking. So I want you to just put your mouth towards the mud and you'll hear me just fine, but I want to make sure I can hear you too. So I'm going to sing you a verse.
All right.
And you can either make one up or try to sing it back. Whatever you want, you feel it, riff it, have fun.
All right.
Okay. So as you put your face so that you hear her voice clear as a bell break out of the earth in front of you as she starts to sing. As the drums roll started on that day, heard 100 miles away. 1,000,000 shells were fired and the green fields turned to gray. The bombardment lasted all day long, yet the forts were standing strong. Heavily defended, now the trap's been sprung. The battle has begun. I can't sing for shit, but that's her singing. And it's amazing. It's great. Me, not so much.
All right. Yeah, that was fast. I'm gonna need
Cool. I'll go back from the start, and we'll just riff from there, right? So
all right,
she
let's
sings. As a drum roll started on that day, heard 100 miles away.
As the drums heard 1,000 miles away. Right?
Yeah.
Lothier's like, I don't know. I'm doing my best. All right, let's go.
All right. She goes to the next one. 1,000,000 shells were fired, and the green fields turned to gray.
1,000,000 shells were fired, and the green shells turned to gray. Green fields.
You can kind of see her like put her ear to the ground. She's like, yeah. The bombardment lasted all day long, yet the forts were standing strong.
The bombardment started all night long, but the forts remained. I don't remember already.
It's
The forts
A-okay.
just said, we're still standing strong.
And then she kind of chuckles and she goes, heavily defended.
Heavenly defended.
Now the trap's been sprung. The battle has begun.
The trap's been sprung. Now the battle has begun.
Yeah, okay. Now this is where I have to do a bit of re-editing here. Okay.
Okay.
So, trench number 1, and the battle has begun.
Trench number 1, and the battle has begun.
Nowhere to run, father and son.
Nowhere to run, father and son.
Fall one by one next to their gun.
Fall one by one next to their gun.
Thy will be done, and judgment has begun.
Thy will be done. Thy judgment has begun.
I love this. We're doing. All right, last lyric, and we're gonna stop this. Nowhere to run, father and son.
Nowhere to run, father and son.
The trench number 1, they shall not pass.
Trench number 1, they shall not pass.
Hell yeah. So as you keep singing, you start realizing the magical energy is needed to attune to the mud. And you kind of see that by the time you're done singing, she's at the opposite end of the trench, some 100 feet away, easy. But you're hearing her clear as a bell. She's right next to you.
Yeah, you see Lothier turn around when the song's done and the drums sort of subside, and he's like, "Was that good? Oh shit! It worked. Thank you."
She's like, no problem. Let me know if you ever want to sing again. We got a ton of hits.
That's fun.
So you have learned those 2 level 1 spells. Definitely put them in any slot you want. Unfortunately, you do not get any added benefit from heightening them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. Mud walking you do. At 3rd, 5th, and 7th, you get more distance to the point where you're basically faster in mud than you are in land, but you have to be moving through mud.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Kylie. So this has been going on. Your friend's been off learning magic in the mud. What is Shonibus doing in the? By the way, do you have the Dewat on? Do you have the Veil of Dewat up?
No.
No, probably a very good idea not to do that right now, unless you want to.
Not
You want to?
anymore.
A little bit, just like a little bit though. No.
I
But
kinda
now
want to do it,
you
yeah.
can't tempt me like this.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Motherfucker, of course I'm gonna have it on. Fine,
Okay.
if you're gonna tempt me like this.
So, you look all over. You see thousands of soldiers with claw marks moving through their body, holes in their gut, skin on fire down to bone. You're seeing the ghosts of thousands of soldiers who have survived hundreds of years of war. But then something else happens. As you're looking around, Camouflage is with you. And as you look at Camouflage, you see a sickly, tiny, dead girl.
Is she human?
It's a human girl?
Camouflage? Who's that?
Who's who?
Can't see her. Okay.
Oh, my apologies for clarification. When you look at Camouflage, that's what you see.
That's even worse. No. I want to look at Alona, but I can't because she's not there.
I mean, last I checked, y'all didn't run off, I don't think.
Yeah,
I
no.
I know
No.
Lothier and Camille had a time, but that's about it.
Yeah.
No, but if I'm in the Duat, can I communicate with anyone out of it?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna look to Alona. Alona?
Yeah?
She's gonna pull Alona in to whisper. And it's like she's not like holding on so tight that she's gonna leave like a handprint, but it's definitely a little tighter than just her, hey, I want to talk to you about something casual. Don't need to like freak out or anything, but we might have a little bit of a situation, and I don't know how to handle this because I don't know what's going on anymore.
Okay. Care to walk me through it?
Camouflage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Person, grown ass person, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Duat, not a grown ass person. She is a child.
Is she a dead child?
She is certainly dead, that's for sure. And like maybe plague like symptoms.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, it's not just me. Cool.
Can I do like a history check or something? Or a religion check?
Yeah, do a religion check.
Oh.
And then give me a perception check afterwards.
Religion, then percent. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Kylie, I do want to say the young, sickly, super skinny girl has giant Coke bottle glasses, and you can almost see the little girl constantly struggling to keep them up on her face. Like the arm of the thing is too big for her ears, so they're constantly sliding down, and she's trying to adjust them.
This makes it so much worse.
It's getting sadder.
Wait, does she look like a young version of the same person?
Kylie, give me a perception check.
Oh no. Yeet. Is that a 9 or a 6? That's a 9. Math. Hold on. $26.
26. It's really hard to tell at first glance, but the longer you stare at this tiny, mousy, sickly little girl, you see similar facial features. They've been obviously exaggerated and enhanced, but there's definitely a similarity between the two faces.
Have I seen anyone that looks... Is this my first time seeing anyone that looks different from the moment they died?
So far that we've been able to express, yes.
Okay.
So Sidney, what was your rolls?
35 religion.
Okay. And what's the perception check?
And you're making up for next week so I don't get rid of you. That is a 35.
30. Jesus. So you are both looking dead down the barrel at Camouflage. This 6'2" lady, jacked, hair up in a bun, service uniform rolled up, looking like fucking Steve Rogers, right? She looks amazing. You both start piecing together your thoughts. Here's the thing. The Duat holds the souls, holds the hearts of those that have been able to pass through the gilded gates of Anubis's realm. So when you see dead people, you see the dead people's soul and hearts. Now, sometimes that means also their reality. Sometimes you are your reality. The fact that you're looking at a 6'1", 6'2", amazing superhero survivor. Basically, the woman that has kept this damn 20 trenches running. And when you look at her soul, you see a scared, sick child. Tells you she's dead. And she was never a tall, big, strong woman at one point in her life.
Just keeps getting sadder and sadder.
Out of curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
what does Gianna see when she looks at Dragon in the duat?
That's a very good question, actually.
Oh my god.
Now that you're in the duat, you turn and look to your Magus friend. Wes, describe the man you once heard before you died.
Yeah. All right. So you see this 6'5", like hulking muscles, chiseled Viking man with long blonde hair in braids, much like Dragons are now, but with many jewels. You see his torso, his back, and his arms covered in scars from swords and different battlements. These bright green eyes. And his kind of face is almost always in a scowl. Very much unlike Dragon, who tries to smile as much as possible.
You see Camouflage kind of staring at both of you. Can I help you with something? You're looking at me like I have a third eye on my face.
I was just wondering, how did you come to be here? Why are you a mutter?
Same reason everyone else is a mutter. We want to see our home safe, but we can't go back there. We want to see each other safe. Every day.
Why can't you go back?
No, I think it's the same that everyone else can't go back. The mud gets in your bones, gets in your soul. World's too big, it's too loud, it's too noisy. Everything makes more sense in the mud. And for me personally, I just want to see that everyone gets back safe. I want to make sure that all my mutters, all my long walk Johnnies, all my long walk Susies, and long walk Quinns get back home again. They have a home no matter where they go.
How long have you been camouflage?
Been camouflage since camouflage. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, go ahead.
Just out of curiosity. Oh God, how old were you when you died?
What?
That's a very interesting question to ask, little lady.
I know.
How old I want to? I mean, I haven't died yet, to my knowledge.
Are you sure? That sounds even worse.
I mean, have you seen me choke slam a dinosaur? Have you seen me strangle a dragon with a chain? Yeah, you have.
I saw it. Yep.
I ain't seen one thing yet that could kill me, so I think I'm doing okay.
Cool. Alona?
Yeah, that makes total and complete sense. I love that. And Lona looks at the Amran door, puts it back in her pocket. I was just, curious because all these trenches are so interesting. Do you have a trench that is very special to you? They all seem to have their own mottos.
I get this question a lot. I don't have a trench. I have all the trenches. I have home in every single one. Every single one's my brothers, sisters, siblings, soldiers. I call them all home. I know all their mottos. I know all their songs. I know all their soldiers by heart. We get the job done, and we make sure everyone goes home safe.
Everyone keeps talking about how many years they've been doing this. Do you know how many years you've been doing it for?
All of them. And I'll do it every last year until I can't.
How could you be doing it for all of them if at one point you were a kid?
Well, I mean, you have to have a certain age to be allowed to enter the trenches. You can't just be a 12-year-old kid and thrown in here. That's barbaric. No. We wait until everyone's the legal age of 18. We put them through basic. We put them in the rotary, and we see when their time comes up for service.
Dragon's gonna lean into Chanabas. What?
It's like, oh God.
Sorry.
Fine.
What's with these questions? You asked her if she died. Clearly not. Like she said, she choke slammed a dinosaur. That'd be hard to do if you were dead. I mean, it's hard to do in general, but.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why are you looking at me funny?
She's gonna lean into Alona. Dragon isn't Dragon either.
What does
He
it even
looks
mean?
like Larian.
He looks like Larian.
He looks like Larian.
Oh no.
Like Larian Voss, like your ex-boyfriend?
She keeps haunting me, Alona.
But he's not Larian, right? Like,
I
Larian's
don't
still
think
alive.
so. As far as I know,
Okay.
yes.
Wow. That would be really, really unfortunate.
She's gonna like pop the cork off her wine and just like shakily just.
You guys are weird. Dragon just sits down again.
Listen, listen, we're just having a night of questions. You know, Lothier's talking to the nice lady over there, and we're talking to the nice lady over here. Lots of really nice ladies in these trenches. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's a great place to be.
Hey, can I do a diplomacy check? PJ?
Yeah, sure. What for?
I want to convince Camouflage to tell us about her childhood. Because we're bonding.
Okay. Why don't you give me that convincing, lead in, and we'll roll the roll, and we'll see how kind fate is.
Oh, gee willikers, I hope it's real nice. Oh, I have a hero point left. All right.
Was it a nat
I'm
one?
using it on this. No, it was a 3.
Oh.
So, not the worst, but not great. I really want to know. Well, maybe I won't find out. It's not the worst. How does a 21 do?
21. Okay.
I have a pretty good
what do you?
diplomacy mod.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, pretty good. Tell me, what is your actually like role play? What are you telling her?
So Ilona goes, everyone's here story is so interesting, but I really want to know more about yours. Like, I grew up in an Origin temple, and then I left because of reasons, and now I'm traveling the world trying to save it with all of my friends, and like, you seem like a leader here, and like, I just want to know like what your story is. Like, how did you get here? Did you grow up in New Jack City? Did you come here? Did you tell us your story, adventurer?
She laughs. It just kind of goes, well, I don't know if you happen to know this, but they wrote a song about me, but I'll save you that little ego trip and just say that I grew up like everyone else did. 3 square meals a day, 2 parents that loved them, school every day. I finally got to the age of 18, I enlisted. And I came here. I got the mud in my soul, and I will not stop fighting until the last day. That's my story. And all I want to do is make sure everyone gets home. It's simple as that.
Can I tell if she's lying or if she actually believes this?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. $31.
31. She believes herself. And she believes it with that impenetrable vigor. You can tell by looking at her that it doesn't matter who or what she is or where she was from. She'd jump on any grenade for anyone. And that's really the only thought in her head right now.
Okay. Alona looks at the Amran door. Alona puts it back. We don't need to go into Psychonaut Theater this episode. That's a lot.
PJ,
Yeah.
can I make a history check or the equivalent of it to find out if a sickness plagued like a large portion of the population during one time?
Yeah, assuming you're kind of asking around and kind of doing some investigation. Yeah, give me a society check actually, as you're kind of doing a recall knowledge and greasing some palms.
You have failed me.
For
Hero
the
point.
last time.
Well, it was first a 5. I used a hero point and then rolled a 1.
Oh,
So that makes it a 13.
A 13. So the information you can gather with a 13 is that due to the history of New Jack City kind of being in the middle of the wrath of the deity of magic, magical diseases are very common here. Even after the war that they fought against a literal god to save themselves, and then the god themselves kind of realizing the folly of what they were doing, created, their apology over at the magical academy. There are still a ton of magical curses and diseases, the big one being blood diseases. But as far as like actual bacteria and infections and things like that, nothing beyond the normal.
Can I tell if any of her symptoms kind of align with that? Of like, if she has any like visible symptoms?
So like her spiritual self, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, give me a medicine check.
Yeet. Better. 22.
22. It's hard to tell. Things are more subtle, but you can tell things like clubbed fingers, discoloration of the lips, a sort of exaggerated like bags under the eyes and discoloration around the eyes. She suffered from some sort of really powerful blood disease that affected her circulatory and probably nervous system at the same time.
Okay. She's gonna lean into Alona. I don't know what to do, because she believes herself that she's not dead, and she most definitely is. How do you let someone down easy? I'm very new to this whole being dead thing, and I really should have asked Ichi for more tips and tricks first.
I love the idea of tips and tricks with Ichi. How to tell people they're dead.
Welcome to Life and Unlife Hacks with Ichi.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Shionibus. Do we have to tell her? She seems like she's living a pretty okay life. Unlife.
I mean, I guess we don't. But I want to figure out why she died. Well, I know why she died. I know that. But, yeah.
I mean,
like, why am I seeing her as a child compared to what's standing in front of us? In front of you, I guess.
I mean, it's very possible that if someone has enough willpower, I mean, this is magical ground. This ground, it cursed us. Who knows what it does to other people? It's possible that this person's spirit, maybe their willpower was so strong that they were able to literally manifest for themselves a physical form to kind of live out their childhood dreams. So, I mean, I think that's entirely possible, especially considering where we are. But I mean, there's no way we can know that for sure unless we know anyone that knows her story. I mean, do you think the rest of these people know that she's a spirit?
I don't know, but I also feel weird asking around when she's standing like right there. So maybe I'll just go into town. I'll do some research. I'll figure something out. And who knows what we'll find. Maybe someone in town will know.
I think it's probably the best idea for now.
All right.
Good enough.
Well, I guess I'll call you when I find something. Unless like we wanted to bring everyone, that's cool too. It just doesn't matter, you know.
No, I like this being a you and me thing.
Okay. I know we haven't had like a you and me thing in a while.
I know. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. Good times.
Yeah.
She's gonna look at Lothier doing magic shit.
Singing to the dirt.
Look at Dragon and quickly like look away.
He's also like trying to nap right now, like trying to get comfortable in like a.
I was gonna say, is it the
bench.
dad nap of sitting straight up?
Yep, pretty
like
much.
They're watching a movie.
Lean up, like hat tipped over your eyes. I was only resting them. I was only resting my eyes. I was closing them. What happened?
Every
Please,
dad.
Is that a dad thing?
It's totally a dad thing. Oh yeah.
Wait, your eyes are doing that like PJ does that.
I don't. What? Actually, I don't. I am too much of an insomniac
No.
to just fall asleep.
I
Period.
can't sleep. That's the
Can't.
problem.
Well, we're can't sleep brothers. Yay!
Yay! ADHD's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's most of the TTRPG community.
That's fair.
That's true because I was about to say me too. All right.
Welcome to TTRPGs, the biggest fantasy of all. A long night's sleep, getting fully rested, and having enough income to live off of. Fantasy.
Insomnia.
I feel seen.
Then why do you hide?
The biggest BS when I'm playing Skyrim is like I get to just choose how many hours I'm going to be unconscious for, and it happens.
Same with The Witcher.
Yes, so I'm just going to sleep for 3 days. How? I can't sleep for one. Anyway, is there any other moments, people you want to talk to, anything else you want to do before we fast forward and say you're going to bed for the rest of the night?
No.
No.
Bedtime.
Lothier walks back to camp just humming the song, by the way.
Now I'm going to say the actual song that we were singing, you and I, is a lot more intense. Like those are
I'm
lyrics,
sure.
It's a lot more intense.
It is definitely a rock song and definitely a lot of energy is what my vibe I got from that was. But please
Wait.
share.
Sure. I'll put it in the Facebook
I
chat
don't know
just
the
for that.
actual song. No.
Oh, it's okay. The minute I tell anyone the band, they're gonna be like, "Oh, of course it is." I'm like, "Yep, that's who it is."
But a quick question though.
Mhm.
You said that you took those songs and that you didn't write them, but the Ballad of Camouflage, you didn't write that?
No, the Ballot of Camouflage is also another song.
Is this character inspired by that song?
It is entirely. It's actually inspired by 2 songs, but primarily the first one a lot.
We'll put it in the Discord.
Oh, absolutely will.
Want camouflage song.
I'll put the one I heard that inspired me because it's technically a remake of an older song, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the really good one. Anyway.
Yes.
Technically, they're both really good. I digress. Anyway, so after today's episode, if you want to hop in our Discord, in the music section, I'm going to put a link to the song that inspired the character Camouflage.
That's so cool.
That being said, night falls, the sound of churning plane engines and rotating gunfire and the cackling battle cry of the night witches basically lulls you to sleep like a lullaby of victory and peace. And as the night is bombarded into day with light, you hear the roaring engines of the 337, the 27th, and other aerial regiments that kind of act almost like a bugle wake-up call. But they're going off to kill more monsters in the sky. With that, everyone kind of like yawns, and in 3 minutes flat, they're fully dressed, fully kitted, fully armed, and fully ready. After that, they kind of have this like big slowdown, like they had a huge burst of energy in this. All right, whose turn is it to make breakfast? Look, all we got is eggs and pepper. So if you want pepper eggs, you're going to be fine. No milk? No milk. We never have milk. I hate you so much, Jeremy. Okay, fine. Let's go.
Jeremy?
Yeah, he's looking at you and he's like, but if y'all want something beyond eggs, I mean, like, we can figure out a way. I might be able to find some bacon somewhere.
Oh my god. No.
Did we bring any rations?
I open up my bag and I just pull out like a handful of squirrel jerky. Like, I've got some squirrel jerky here. Sorry.
Oh, right.
Sorry, Lona.
He looks at you and goes, Mr. Blue, sir.
Uh-huh.
I am a highly trained efficient killer, living in the mud for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen horrible atrocities. I have nightmares the likes of which you cannot comprehend. I deserve better than squirrel jerky.
Suit yourself.
All right.
Just eat some squirrel
All
jerky.
right. I'll take one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yep, here you go.
Oh, now y'all trying to make me jealous. Okay, I see how
No,
it is.
we're not trying to make you jealous. We're just telling you it's really good squirrel
Yeah,
jerky.
it's properly spiced. It's not just dried and salted.
A very lean gentleman with like a pencil thin mustache comes in a very muddy uniform, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's like, all right, you let me get the accent right. All right, everyone, today's a new day, new sun, new things to do. I want to see you upright and ready for the whole day. Now, if you're going to be doing patrols, you know better. We don't go to the left side. That's where the 740D does their thing. If they run out of spoons, well, Buster, that's on you. You don't give them spoons. You're going to go to the right side. Please make sure you don't go by the barricades. We lost a person out there last night. Couldn't find them. They went deep in the mud. Pretty sure they're gone forever. All right, everyone else. Now, what in the damn it all? You are definitely not my soldiers. Who are you three? Who are you 4, 5, 6? Bloody hell, there's 6 of you. Who are you?
Actually, I think there's, 7 of us? Isn't there?
There's also our
eight
new
of us.
friend Jefferson. So I mean,
Yeah.
you might want to
10?
include them.
Jefferson.
Jefferson the Combat Rock.
Jefferson the combat. I want to see that. I want to see that combat rock right now.
I grab Jefferson out of Alona's hands and hold Jefferson up. Here you
He
go.
goes, well, gun smoke on a generator. You're being serious? This rock? I know for a fact that my New Jack City loved voluntary source did not recruit a rock. You get out of here right now. This is chicanery, and I will not have it.
Oh, whoa.
Do not speak to Jefferson in that way.
Yeah.
He's got feelings. I'm sorry.
Jefferson's also quite powerful.
Wait, now hold on just a minute here. See, like you're telling me this rock is powerful.
Yeah,
Now, we
look-
weaponize everything from a bad knife to a good spoon. You mean to tell me that thing is powerful?
I
more
look over at Dragon and I'm like,
more powerful than any of any of those rifles.
Takes a long drag on this rolled, just hand-rolled white cigarette. Well, I think I'd be plumb stupid if I didn't ask for a demonstration. I want to see how that thing gets weaponized right away, and it better be better than a bullet, because by God, black powder boomsticks.
Sorry, cut out for a second, but yeah. So Dragon is immediately going to telekinetic projectile Jefferson at a tree.
Roll the hit.
I need this to work. Oh boy. That's a 28.
wow.
So a tree has an AC of like 10?
Yeah.
So that's a dirty crit. Please roll damage.
Okay. Okay.
Randy, give me either a nature or perception check. Everyone else give me either an arcana or a perception check.
Oh,
Yeet.
all right.
Nat 20,
Ooh.
which makes it a 37.
Damn.
30 points of damage.
Jeez. Okay.
24.
24. Okay. So, out of curiosity, Sydney, what was yours too? I want to make sure if you can see it or not.
Thanks. It was a 30.
Nice. Okay. So you grab this rock with telekinetic projectile. You throw it through a tree. The tree bursts into splinters and then falls over. You see this lieutenant just...
I want to make sure that he doesn't know that I'm doing this spell.
Give me a deception check.
Oh no. Can I do stealth?
I want to.
You can do stealth. You can do stealth
I want to
instead.
assist and be
Aid?
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
My stealth is way better.
Me and
That's a
Loki are
28
tag
again,
teamers.
actually.
Okay.
I do not aid. I rolled in that one.
I got a 23 to aid.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. So you shoot this rock off, and this lieutenant's sitting there. The cigarette just drops out of his hand, and he goes, "By golly, if I had a hat, I would eat it right now. You mean to tell me we have been surrounded by rocks that can fly and kill trees? Trees are basically dragons that don't move. What? This is ridiculous. Why are we funding this? What the hell's going on?"
I mean, like I said, Jefferson the combat rock.
Jefferson is a rock.
That's true.
Not all rocks are like Jefferson.
Well, by golly, I'm gonna write a report right now. We're gonna recruit more special rocks, a whole army of rocks. I'm gonna do that right now. And he goes storming off. Now,
And immediately after he leaves, Dracon looks at Lothier and busts out laughing.
I bet you he's gonna make an entire new regiment.
And just imagine him saluting the rocks on the ground and yelling orders to them while a siege is happening. And then he said, "Oh wait, Jefferson!" And he's gonna run out and go look for Jefferson.
Now, here's what everyone else rolled to see. Well, this is what Sidney and Shinomis rolled to see, and this is what we'll get to that in a bit. So as this happens, the tree breaks. You see the air on the ballistic path of the rock that Dragon sent it on. You see it rippling like water. And not like a simple... It starts to ripple and then vibrate and then wisp away. And as this happens, the temperature drops 5 degrees colder. And as if summoned by some force, you see Camouflage in a dead sleep wake up, slam her shotgun butt down, weapon ready. We should run right now.
Dragon's already running.
Why did you roll a nature check? I'm going to tell you why. Or perception, whatever I'm checking. I think perception check. I'm going to tell you why.
Nature, but yeah.
Nature, thank you. As the rocks soar through the air, what voice does Jefferson sound like?
Ooh, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
What voice does Jefferson sound like as he goes flying through the air?
Gravel tongue.
Jefferson the Rock. Jefferson the Rock.
Well, this is not good.
I love it. Hold on. Making a quick note.
Pardon me, sir. Why are you pick- Oh!
Okay. So you get this. So as he starts flying, he goes, "I say, you put me down. You, oh my goodness!" Oh. And then all of you hear this plink, 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 and there's Jefferson going, "Why, I'd never. I was minding my own business in the cold mud, and now I'm a projectile. This ballistic shall not stand. Why am I? Could someone please pick me up? I'm very cold."
Oh, I start running after Dragon because I can hear him, and I'm like, I thought I would help you. I can hear him. He is not happy with having been thrown.
So as you find the rock and you basically recognize that he's speaking, he's like, I say you speak the Terran. You speak the Gravel tongue. It's a pleasure to meet you, brother. Of course. Yes.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you too, Jefferson.
You can talk to the rock?
Yes, the rock is talking to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Did the rock have fun? Did it have fun?
My friend here is asking if you had fun.
Blew up a tree. It was really cool.
I did no such thing. I had no fun. I would not recommend this to any of my rocky friends.
Probably had a lot of fun, right?
He absolutely had no fun. He's saying that he would not recommend it, and we should ask him next time before we throw him if he's this sentient. At least that's what I think.
All right, that's fair. But also, let him know that he's now a famous rock.
That is true. My friend here has made you quite the well-known rock. Mm-hmm. You're a bit famous in these parts as a combat rock. So, kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Boulder Dash, that sounds quite exciting. I never thought I would be anything extraordinary. I mostly just like being a rock.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoy being a rock, and we're excited to have you as a member of our party in a way.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. What do we do now? Is he gonna throw me again? I don't quite like that.
I have asked him not to throw you without your permission, but, and I will say, that was pretty damn impressive. You, maybe y'all two can work out an arrangement where he asks your permission, and maybe at times you allow him to throw you.
Well, I would. Maybe we can come to an agreement. But I don't want him throwing me all the time.
Of course.
I have a reputation to uphold as a rock of good standing.
You, of course, a rock of good and moral standing. I think that makes the most sense. And I look over at Dragon and I'm like, he said sometimes you can throw him, but we need to get his permission first, and not all the time.
That's fair. I agree that, but also let him know that it's Jefferson the Combat Rock, more powerful than any rifle.
Right. There is an entire slogan. You are Jefferson the Combat Rock, more powerful than any rifle that ever was.
I'd rather like that. No. I must be a humble rock. I must make sure I don't take any of this for granted. I must become sure of myself, but not cocky.
Well, we can continue that as the legend continues. But I was wondering, what do you like to eat? And he starts bringing the rock back very carefully now that it has a personality.
What do I like to eat? Well, I like to eat water and dirt and oxygen. Yes.
Understood. I will create a place for you in something. And he starts digging around his bag for a habitat.
And he says, and before I go, I also like to drink. I like milk. I like creamy milk. I like a lot of milk.
Oh, what? And I look back over at Dragon. Why is everybody around here so obsessed with milk?
No.
This is the second time someone. Yeah, he's saying he likes milk a lot. And that's what the other person was talking about. There ain't no milk out here.
The rock enjoys milk?
It enjoys milk and water. Those things aren't good for rocks.
I mean, milk give calcium to the rock and make it strong?
Maybe, but works? Water would erode it. That's how it works anywhere I've seen.
He said he likes water and milk. Anything else?
And dirt and sky, he's a plant.
Wait, so he likes mud?
Yeah.
And I just like look at the ground, and I'm gonna take Jefferson and just drop Jefferson.
Don't do that. Boulder that.
Well,
Well-
it doesn't make any sense that he likes mud because he says he doesn't like when his butt is cold.
That's true.
Sorry, Jefferson. And I cast Produce Flame on the mud.
No!
And then I put Jefferson in the warm mud.
Oh, you heated
What?
the mud up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's a mud bath.
Uh,
What's not like?
I do love an occasional mud bath, but I just thought you were gonna try to fry the rock, and I was a bit afraid.
No. I did that earlier.
Oh my god!
Well, he said his butt was cold, so I
All
warmed
right.
it up.
Anyway, wasn't someone saying we gotta get out of here?
Oh yeah. Huh. I wonder how everyone else is doing.
Right. In the middle of.
right in the middle.
Oh, yep.
We just wandered off to go find a rock.
The rock is talking.
In
now.
the middle
Like,
of doing
granted,
so-
the rock was talking.
Yeah.
We just ended on me saying wasn't somebody saying we needed to get out of here?
Also, I
Oh yeah, Camouflage. She was
Yeah.
the one that's like, we gotta go.
dropped Jefferson the rock in the mud because that's what he said he liked, and then Lothier reminded Dragon that it was too cold, so I warmed up the mud with Produce Flame and put Jefferson back in.
Well, as you use Produce Flame, Sidney and Kylie, you see the same ripple effect, that kind of unnerving ripple effect where the air around the magically produced flame begins to wisp and roil, and you can feel the bright sun starting to darken a little bit more. And you see Camouflage just kind of like runs right up to you. He's like, we need to go now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Lead the way. What are we going from?
I'm going to yell to the boys.
Oh,
Huh?
all right. Jefferson, you get to hang out with in this little jar with the mud, and then I close them up in there, and I keep them safe. I'll give them back to you when you're ready to throw
Yeah, sounds good.
them.
And then
Alright.
Dragon's just humming to himself, Jefferson, the combat rock.
All right. So we run over to our friends.
All right. So Camouflage looks to all you and says, thanks to unfortunately, it looks like the magic in the air has latched onto some magic of its own. Starting to get a mite angry. So if we're gonna get you out of here safely, we gotta do it now.
Wait,
And also, not for nothing, we gotta take the magic away from everyone in here. Because their lives are in danger too.
oh, what if we like our magic?
Look, I love your magic more than anyone else. I think there's a little magic in all of us. The problem is, these muds, they're not a fan. Maybe they're too much of a fan.
All right.
Did anyone tell you why magic is outlawed in New Jack City?
No.
I just thought you didn't like it. I didn't know it was a law thing.
Yeah. So a couple hundred years ago, Isix, the god of magic, the deity, the source of all arcanum,
Uh-huh.
tried to make their own city. Use it as proof that magic could be a tool for anything. The greatest power, maybe even greater than the gods, maybe even rival the Platinum Hammer, and maybe even Azimuth. I don't know. I wasn't there. But one thing I do know is they made a city. And they forced everyone to use magic. No one liked it. They kept saying no, they don't want to use it. They just kept forcing magic on them. Until one day, they had enough of it. All the magical problems that were happening because Isix was trying to show them how great and powerful magic could be. And they rose up. They found out this little powder, when you put into a charge and put a bullet in front of it, you can make a gun. And since that day, they've been fighting magic all their life. Because this entire place is bonded to Isix. This is their remorse. This is their apology. This is their leftovers. Ripples and dimensions to all different parts of magic. They left behind. Maybe they're too ashamed to fix it. Maybe they don't know how. I don't know. But that saddled us with the bill. And every time you cast a spell, you're making all those portals angrier and angrier. And I don't know where all those portals go. I've seen all kinds of horrible things pop out of there. Like Gus, the three brothers. Not every single magic event is just pixies and dragons. Sometimes whole spells themselves come to life. Do you know how many times you'll be walking around a normal patrol and a fireball erupts out of nowhere? No one casting it? Just you see a red bead in the sky and it's hit the dirt, Johnny. That's what we deal with every day. That's why magic's illegal. Not because we hate it, but because this place is volatile.
Noted.
All right. So how do you take our magic?
Say it again, soldier.
You said something about like stopping our magic,
Oh,
right?
stop casting it.
It's that simple. Oh,
Yeah. You still got free will. We'll never take anything from you. We can't do that. We don't have that power. But,
oh no, that's why I was a bit concerned. But all right, no magic.
I mean, the Bureau can like lock it up, but they can only like temporarily seal it up. They can't take it away from you forever.
I don't like that either, so I'm gonna just
not do it. Yeah.
no more giant raccoons.
At least until oh, that's right. Yeah, you were a giant raccoon once. But to be fair, that was mostly the pixies. That wasn't you. That wasn't on you. Now, once you get inside those city walls, you're out of my hair. You're not my headache. You can do whatever you want in there. But while you're in the trenches, these are my family. And I got to make sure they live just as long as you do.
All right. Wait, so quick question. Magic is not illegal in the city, just outside of it? Or
Oh, it's very illegal. But again, I'm not going to stop you.
Oh. Got it.
Yep.
Also, no guns allowed in the city, period. So
What is allowed in the city?
Oh, well, I mean, everything else.
All right.
Is there a Bun Boys in the city?
Kind of stops for a second. Bun Boys, ring a bell. And you see this one like new volunteer go, oh yeah, it's my favorite coffee shop, but just by Nighthawk's Diner. I love it. There you go. That's the one.
Great. Also, where do I buy one of those? And points to the gun.
They all look at you and goes, you don't buy it, you get issued one.
But I want to. No offense, I want a better one than like the ones that you guys use.
Look, there's a bunch of manufacturers, a lot of major companies in the city. Maybe talk a deal with them, but strictly speaking, guns in the hands of the trenches only.
All right. Okay. Like
I lean over to Alona and go, we're gonna need to keep an eye on Dragon. Anytime someone has told Dragon not to do something so far, Dragon has tried to do it. So just saying.
Yeah, no, you make a really, really solid point. So do we still need to run? Because we're doing an awful lot of talking.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. We should run and talk. Yeah, let's break out of this trench right now and get out of here. She turns and she says, no go. This is just extraditionary precautions. Don't worry. And then she grabs each and one of you by the collar and throws you a good 20 feet in the air, and you land softly on the mud above the trench. With a high jump, she just lands next to you. Okay, soldiers, knees to chest. We gotta leave.
What is Chio like? Chio, how are you looking at camouflage as she's doing this? Are you like?
She's just trying to keep it together at this point. A lot has happened today. She's just like, when she lands, it's like when a cat like lands and they're like really tense at first, and then like just like look around and then relax a little, but still a little tense, like unsure. And then she's going to take off running in said direction.
All right. So what are the heroes about to survive? What are they going to run into? Will they get to the gates in time? We'll find out after this 5-minute break. We're going to go in 5 minutes. We'll come back around 9:45. We'll see you all then, everyone. See you in 5 minutes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for that brief break. We really appreciate it. It's great because the playback is like just enough that by the time we go back, everyone's little things are exposed. That makes me laugh. That sounds horrible. Moving right along. So
Little things.
well, just like when we start dancing and then we come back and then the dancing is in the playback. I love it.
Mm-mm. No, you didn't
No?
hear what he said. Nope.
Little things, skittle things. Is that what he said?
No.
Never mind.
You know, we're just
We'll
gonna
talk about
brush
it later.
that.
We'll talk about it
We're-
later.
When I'm older. When I'm older. All right. So. Oh God. So where last we left off, there was some fun learning mud druid magic. There was some interesting conversations with Camouflage and Dragon, pissing everyone off. Not on purpose, not maliciously, just oopsie daisy.
That's
But
what I do.
unfortunately, now it's time to get out. Camouflage kind of starts leading the way. Now, you see that there are 3 directions straight ahead, this kind of left curve bank, and a kind of a right flank that can't really tell where it goes. Where do you go?
Is there one way that's towards the city?
Straight ahead.
All right. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dragon's gonna
Let's
run
do
like
it.
straight ahead.
Okay. Straight ahead. You go straight ahead. Everyone give me a reflex save.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, I figured
gosh.
as much.
Darn it.
Dang it.
I knew that was coming.
Yep. 26.
Okay. Okay.
28.
No!
20.
Again?
Oh!
Good. Good.
Sorry, what?
Hmm. So, Wes, what was your save again?
28.
28, 26. What was yours, Alona?
Don't look at me.
I'm looking at you.
Wait, again?
Don't look at me. No.
Oh no.
It's a 4.
Oh, okay.
Still not great. That's a 13.
Okay.
Reflex is my worst save because I'm a fucking cleric.
Oh man. Okay, hold on. I just gotta consult the old. No, we know what that is. Okay. So, as you're walking, a sudden rainstorm just pelts down upon you, and the mud just starts kind of like absorbing the water. You see little puddles of water just kind of start gathering everywhere, and Camouflage is just kind of making the best of it, just kind of shoulders haunched to deal with it. But then at one point, the water that's on the ground
Are you kidding me?
starts to rise in droplets. It's like a half second where you see the water on the ground just kind of raises almost up to your eye line. And at that point, Camouflage looks up in the sky and goes, "Shh." Before she can turn around and actually pin anyone to the ground, streaks of lightning collide with the earth, slamming into the dirt and mud around you. Now, thankfully, 3/4 of you did good.
Why? Why is it always water? It's always water.
But this
Every
one,
time.
but
Is
one of you,
lightning and water.
I mean, they don't like each other, but they're always there. No, you critically failed.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do a quick dice roller.
R.I.P.
Yeah, that might happen.
Oh no!
No.
This is why he started the session with like, "Hey Wes, should I add like sad music?" He knew.
Yep.
It wasn't honestly. Well, we'll get to that later. So, Alona,
Oh.
you've had a full night's rest. You've done some healing. You got your spells back. You just take 43 lightning damage as a sudden bolt critically cracks into your whole being.
Oh man.
Wasn't me. Not me.
And I can't use magic?
I mean, at this point, do what you got to do, I guess.
No, I can't use magic, so. Oops.
But
Crispy chicken Alona. It's whole ass fried chicken out here.
I'd like to.
can I try I have a feat natural medicine. Can I try a treat wounds? That's not magic. It's just like
Yes.
putting salves and stuff on the wounds.
Yes, and since if you want to use the mud, I'll give you a +2 on that check.
Will do.
Now I've got a question though.
I-
How are
I-
Alona's eyebrows?
Just grew back. They just grew back.
All right. Allow you to gain a check to treat wounds using nature. Oh, nice. It uses nature instead of medicine. That's awesome. 29.
29. All right. You are an expert in nature or a master?
Master.
Master. I gotta look at because I can never remember this for some strange reason. But there's a chart. You said 29?
Yep.
That unfortunately will not cut it.
What?
Now, if you have a hero point, you could always, try to roll that again.
Okay.
Excuse me?
I'll use a
What?
healing point.
A what? I'm.
Yeah, I don't 34.
34. That's
If it doesn't cut it,
success.
okay. I was about to.
Yeah, I'm like, if that doesn't succeed, how hurt is Alona?
you can heal her 2d8 plus 30 HP.
What? Plus 30?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mundane healing, like medical healing, gets crazy bonuses. And if you were to crit that check, it would be like 4d8 plus 30. Yeah, 48 plus 30.
That's
For
nuts.
his
That's awesome.
37.
37. So Sidney alone has healed 37 HP.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah.
insane.
He takes the the mud, begins wrapping it in his hands and sort of trying to soothe the wound as best as he can. It doesn't
The
completely do
burns.
it, but yeah.
Alona goes, you gotta teach me how you do that. That's impressive.
Oh. Yeah. We're surrounded by mud. This is me and my element.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Camouflage just kind of looks over everything that's going on, looks up at the sky and goes, I think it's gone, but we should probably get going if you're good to. Are you good to walk? You okay?
I'm good to walk. Can we walk and you explain me what it is?
It what?
You said it's gone. What is it?
Oh, the AAE. They just attacked us. That lightning storm.
What does AAE stand for?
Aggravated arcanological event.
Oh, you just making up acronyms now.
No, I,
Well,
I,
technically
I,
the-
I heard that one before.
Yeah. Now, technically, it's the Bureau made it up to explain how the magical phenomenon currently happens. Like, so sometimes a dragon pops out of nowhere and tries to light you on fire. Sometimes a spell
yeah.
just goes off.
That happened to her too.
Well, I mean, maybe we shouldn't just keep bringing that up.
Sorry, I'm trying to relate.
All right, so more of these AAEs are gonna happen, so we gotta skedaddle, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they just happen all the time, and I think maybe having a lot of magical spells go off in the trenches may be aggravating them a bit more than usual.
Dragon would like to go up to Alona as they're walking. So, you get hit by things. Do you want me to carry you?
I can.
I know. I'm not trying to be insulting or anything. I don't want you to get hurt anymore.
I will let this happen if it's on your back.
That's fine.
Can you pretend you're a horse?
That might be going just a little too far.
I get it. I understand. I knew it was pushing it. I just, it'd be fun.
I mean,
it's fine.
And he who whispers to her, I will say nay a couple times, okay? All right? Just, we're not going to explain to anybody else what's happening.
Yes. Yes.
Because it does sound a little fun.
It does sound fun. I love how Alona's need for speed also translates to piggyback rides.
Just spurring faster, I say. All right, so you can continue to keep going straight, or you can do a left bank, or go down the mysterious right path.
If we keep going straight, maybe eventually it'll think we go left and it'll stop attacking us.
So I'll go whatever way that party wants to go, but Dragon is definitely eyeing this mysterious right.
Yeah.
How did I know?
All right, so you keep going. Hours pass as miles get put beyond you. You cross a few more trenches. They all seem to kind of celebrate. And what's that?
Nay.
Oh. Hero point to everyone. I feel like I need to give you all hero points. The role playing and the putting up with the horse, and it's great. Everyone gets a hero point.
This is wonderful. Yes. Maybe
So
next time we'll be able to re-roll that 3.
So you go through, and every single trench looks, first of all, excited to see you and overjoyed to see Camouflage. They salute her, they throw her a ration or whatever, and she just kind of smiles and she walks by. You keep going, you start seeing other patrols in the muds as you get closer to the trenches, and they kind of see you. Everyone give me a perception check.
$21.
21. Okay.
24.
24.
35.
35. Okay.
So perceptive.
Hey, thanks for going nay, Wes, because they rolled another 1.
Well, nay.
Now it's a 29.
Okay, that's not bad. As they're all looking at you and smiling, waving, they're holding their service weapons by the kind of diagonal across their body, like, "Hi, how's it going?" And Camouflage kind of nods and smiles. You see a look of horror and panic wash over these mutters' faces as they look at you, and they just start to freeze. And you see the hairs on the back of Camouflage's neck rise up, and she just turns around. In between all of you, in the middle of the air, you see this little red bead just blinking. Beep, beep. Now, everyone, because you all rolled very well, you're all going to get a +4. Kylie's going to get a +4 and advantage on the reflex save as a fireball is detonating in the center of your numbers.
Do I recognize a fireball when I see it?
You recognize the telltale bead of a fireball.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Well, you're on my back.
Right.
It's a 29 for Dragon carrying Alona. If you want me to make an athletics check as well for extra carrying.
I mean, assuming you're all because the minute you recognize this, you hear hit the deck. So you're just dropping with her on you. There is nothing else you got to worry about.
I'm diving immediately into the trench if I can.
Unfortunately, it'd be a full sprint to get there in time.
Okay.
This is just stop, drop, and roll. What you got, Randy?
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh,
So that's a 32.
Ayo.
Also, I'd like to add that when I recognize this, Dragon immediately is going to roll over and put himself on top of Alona.
Okay. Kylie, what was your reflex?
37.
37. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Sidney. So sorry. What was that?
No. Can I get advantage because he's rolling on top of me?
Yes.
Wait,
Absolutely.
really?
Yeah.
Wait,
well,
really?
Technically speaking, cover. So that would be a +4 to this reflex roll. We already have +4, so yeah, I'll give you advantage. That's the easiest way to do that.
Oh well, it remains what it was.
No.
I don't know what's going on, guys. It's not that bad. It's a 25, but I don't know what the DC is for these checks. They've been really high.
Yeah. The good thing is, you all succeed. Randy and Kylie critically succeed. Now, this is still a fireball spell. That means the success is only going to take half. So those who succeeded, they only take half. You take half of 25. So you're going to take 13 damage.
Do I take extra because I'm like covering Alona? Okay.
No, it's the same fire.
Fire doesn't discriminate based on who's on top. Equal, I don't know. We can just let that one go. Just
Sidney, how does it feel to be in my boots whenever I innocuously make a reference that I didn't? Oh, we're doing the fans now? We're doing fans? Boom, two can play at that game. I got a fan.
I don't have one of those.
too.
I don't have one of those,
Proud of
but I
this fan.
am a fan of you both.
Oh, we're fans of you too. I'm still doing this because I'm actually really kind of warm. Okay. Anyway, so the fireball erupts. You see as you get back up, the entire troop that was yelling at you to get down. They come back with these big blankets. They throw it on top of you, and they start smothering out the fire. They pull it off. They check to make sure you're okay, and they're like, "Howdy there. Are you doing okay, you folks? You almost were completely obliterated in a fireball. You all right?"
Yeah. Now I know how my enemies feel now. I mean, I don't do magic.
Hold on. Well, they critically failed the perception check, and they just go, "Well, good thing you don't do magic, Bunny Buster, because if you did, we'd be in for a hell of a headache. Thank you so much."
Yeah, just.
I
Just
walk
a-
by. I walk by and go, "You don't do magic." Or
They're
Just
just
a
walking away
bunch
going,
of-
"Man, I wish I could do magic. That would be so swell."
Yep.
Love that for you. Does godly magic count, or is that, does that get a pass because it's technically not like arcane magic? It's from other things.
Give me a religion check.
Okay.
And Lothier gave me a nature check.
Ooh, I sure did roll pretty good on that one.
I did not. Well, luckily my nature is high. So
Also
27.
27. Good God. Really fast. I want to take a second. Thank you so much. Hero becomes them for the sub. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
27 nature check. So accessing sort of the kind of elemental energy that lives in all things at all times, you realize that this place is brimming with all forms of magic. However, the primal magic that is here is largely innate, untapped potential energy. It doesn't seem to be affecting the curse of Isix.
Oh, snap. All right. Good to know.
Oh,
What about divine magic?
yeah.
I did miss that religion check. I'm so sorry. What was that?
34.
Yeah, even though, according to the story, Izix, the divine deity that found the source of all magic in the realm of chaotic arcanum, brought it here. The divine magics, the divine powers, do not have any issues whatsoever. The more you two start kind of putting it together, while the primal magic is probably very powerful because of the energy left over by Izix, only arcane sources aggravate the arcane god.
Oh no.
Great.
Dragon.
Can't even fling a rock around here anymore.
It's gonna be so a guy can't fling a rock at random trees. What is this?
Oh no.
Oh no.
I love it.
All right.
Raid!
Oh,
Hey, welcome.
Oh, thank you so
Welcome,
much for the
Raiders.
raid. Mad Bird Stream. So awesome to see you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, caw.
Caw. Caw indeed. Caw, mother trucker. Thank you so much for the raid. So, just in time for this then. So as you've just survived a fireball spontaneously igniting in the trenches and kind of learning that because of the history of Izix in this place, that only Arcana really agitates it. Primal magic and divine magic seem to be okay so far. And with you being fine, again, your choices are going straight through the trenches, taking that left curve, going that mysterious right. What are you gonna do?
If we keep going straight, are we going to keep getting hit by lots of things that are trying to kill us?
Well, I mean, right now it feels like the entire place is trying to kill you, as the Mutters have stated.
This is true. Do I have can I use locate to locate the best path?
Actually, didn't they say that there was a soldier lost in the mud beyond the wall?
Yeah. So if I can actually use primal magic, then I might try to so I don't know them, so I can't communicate with them, but I might be able to feel them and maybe bring them to where we are.
Okay.
Using like basically the egg travel thing with them here.
Can you imagine how horrifying that would be? Just right with
Terrifying.
egg.
Well, otherwise they're out there in the middle of like
That's
you
fair.
know. So basically the way to try to do that would be essentially listening to what I heard the Archdruid did before, where he felt the other, like he felt Camille when she was in danger in the mud, right? This dude is standing in the mud and is probably in danger and fearful. And I would try to like really close my eyes, focus down, and try to feel where they are.
Okay. You know what? I'm here for this. Give me a very hard perception check. The DC total being 28.
Okay. I have one nay hero point. So I'm in case. I think I did it. Yep. Oh yeah. 18, 19, 20, 30 points. 30.
30.
Yep.
Yeah, that beats it. So kind of as you start entering into the unified intelligence of the mud, the universal intelligence of the mud, I want you to describe for me what it's like to go through this network of enriched soil and feel this enhanced awareness.
Right. So it's that same feeling that he felt earlier, where the mud was sort of undulating and moving through him, and sort of that connectedness that he had. And he starts really focused. Like as soon as he realizes that that primal magic is an option here, he thinks to the lost soldier that he heard about this morning, and he focuses all of his energy trying to feel any kind of presence, any kind of like pressure. Like basically, if this mud, this consciousness sort of thing is spread out, he's trying to feel what like pressure, where this person would be standing, where their body, what warmth is emanating off of them into this mud, and use that to sort of try to pull and grab them. But he's specifically looking for them where he heard they were last, right?
So you kind of feel yourself moving throughout the earth, this kind of limited omnipresence, scanning out, and eventually you find this massive sinkhole, this terrifying ditch that's easily 20, 30 feet of soft earth in the ground. It's the kind of hole that once you fall in, you're good as dead. You can't get out. Very common, unfortunately, because of the fighting out here. And you feel this body. Feels weak and faint, but there's still warmth to it. If you are going to pull him through the mud, it'll be in the same manner that you have gone through Hard Rock. You feel almost like a hug, like you're surrounding him in this hug. And you can almost feel the earth moving with great force. You can feel the rushing, the overstimulus of all this movement hitting you all at once, until finally, everyone around Lothier, you see the earth start to tremble. And breaking out through the ground, you see this giant, like almost like budding tulip that grows into this massive, almost like chocolate mud egg. And then once it breaks up, slurps away. And inside, you see a gaunt, terrified, skinny figure of a man screaming, "Ah! Ah, what was that?"
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to help you. You're here.
Oh,
That means I did it. Holy shit, I did it.
Like, Drago goes to high five Lothier. Like, that was awesome.
No, but and then he looks down at the person. I'm sorry for scaring you. I'm sure that was terrifying. It was terrifying the first time it happened to me too. How badly hurt are you?
I haven't eaten in about a couple of days, and I haven't had water in the same.
I pull out like a water skin and hand it to them.
I pull out squirrel jerky.
He is eating this. He's inhaling the squirrel jerky, and he's guzzling the water out of the water skin, and he's to the point where he's coughing, and he's just
Slow down.
Yeah.
You hurt
I'm
yourself.
sorry. I feel much better now.
Wow. I'm so glad we were able to help. They said people who go out beyond that wall, they tend to get lost out there and they can't help them. But did you see that? I helped them.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your name? My name is Lothier. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, it's a nice pleasure to meet you, Lothier. My name is Mickey.
All right, Mickey. We're here at, and I look over at the people in the trench that we're right by. And what trench is this?
Oh, the camouflage goes, we're at trench 6.
So this is probably far from where you were when you headed out. But this is trench 6.
Oh wow, trench 6, you don't say. Yeah, no, I was supposed to be at trench 17. I got lost really badly.
All right. Well, I think you should probably rest before you head back. There's a lot of danger right now, it seems, from the... And I look at camouflage. AAE, you say?
That's right, AAEs.
All right. So, how about you rest here for a little bit before you head out, all right?
Yeah, well, I think I'll do just that. That sounds like a swell idea.
Right. And Lothar's just got like this huge grin, just this smile, like he's so happy right now. Like, wow.
Hey, are you all going to be going inside the city anytime soon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
plan.
Great. Well, I don't think the Muds are really speaking to me, but if you ever find my family, let them know that I'll be coming back when this volunteer time is done. They have an entertainment studio somewhere in the city. They make little moving pictures for kids. I think you might like their stuff.
All right. I'll look them up.
Oh boy, that just makes my day. I need to have a sit down. You all be safe now. Here.
You too.
And they just start slowly, weakly limping over to Trench 7, and some of the other mutters look at him and they go, "Get the nice blanket," and they throw like one of those trauma blankets over him, and they kind of help him down to the trenches, and they give him a coffee.
Yay.
Oh.
Elena
Wow.
walks over to Lothier. That was really great. You just learned that this morning?
Last night, but yeah. I felt like as soon as I knew my magic would work without setting off everything, I knew I had to try. And there was a story about the archdruid doing the same thing. And I was like, not that I think I'm anywhere near that man. He's definitely way leagues above where I am. But I thought if I could try to do that, maybe I'd be able to help it. And I was. Wow.
You don't give yourself enough credit, Lothier.
Well, that's mighty nice thing to say. You're right. I'm working hard. I need to be excited and accept that. But I'm just glad he's all right. I'm glad we could do something. We still got a long ways to go, though. And I at first was thinking I would try to do that spell and try to help us get there a little bit faster. But I can't do it that much. So looks like
That's okay.
we got a long way to go. All right.
Well, speaking of a long way to go, the question remains: straight ahead, through more potential spells to dodge, maybe more horrible creatures to run away from. Take a left.
Are we getting there faster by going straight?
Well, the law of, A to B says yes. That's a law, right? That's the quickest points between two. The quickest way between 2 points is a line. There we go.
All right. So in this mysterious path that we cannot see anything, because it has been like this the 2 times that we've traveled straight ahead, right?
Mhm.
It's still, we have no idea where it leads, right?
Nope, you just see off in the right this whole untouched part of the muds. No trench, no nothing, but there's definitely like different walkways that kind of taper off.
If we go left or any direction other than straight, do we have cover?
Good question. You will find there is kind of a large canopy of trees embanked on the left side.
You guys want to try the left?
Couldn't hurt.
Let's
We've been
do
going
it.
straight and almost dying every time, so maybe left is a good choice.
Or we just die inside the woods, but
Yeah,
maybe that's a better place to die.
I want to go check out the mystery path up be honest. I mean, we've kept going straight, and it's been fine and all, but
But the mystery path doesn't have cover. Dragon?
fine. I'm going the mystery path.
The disappointment.
All right, so you're going around the left bank where there's the trees for cover.
Mm-hmm.
But if any more spells of craziness happens, we're checking out the mystery path.
The next time we can go on the mystery path.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So you go to the left side, and as you do, first of all, camouflage kind of double takes. Like, you want to go in the woods? Even I don't know what's in those woods.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're in those woods. That's what's in those woods. It's us. We're gonna be in the woods.
Where the wild things are.
Yeah.
Great sound effects, PJ. I love it.
Thank you. So she just kind of shakes her head and goes, "Any adventure's a great adventure as long as we're together. Lead the way, I'll follow."
Yeah. I mean, it's so great to be traveling with a seasoned veteran who, has been alive through all these different adventures. He looks at camouflage. Because I wasn't there for the dead part.
That's a good point.
And
So-
Dragon was ignored, so he doesn't know what's going on either.
Fair. Everyone give me survival checks.
Ooh.
Oh.
This really is like my wheelhouse.
I'm gonna go ahead and use a hero
I
point
got
on
a
that one and
10.
hope.
Same.
That's so much worse. Hero point.
23.
Okay, that's way better.
23,
24.
24,
26.
26. 24. Sydney, I don't think I got yours.
I thought it was better at this. 25.
25. Okay. So the good news is you don't get lost, which means what you walk into is what you're supposed to walk into.
Oh.
As you continue to move through the forest, everything becomes suddenly very dark. And it's maybe 1 in the afternoon. Way too dark for that. Keep going. Very unusual lights start to grow out of the ground and then pop. You start seeing mushrooms start to kind of bend in your direction. Like they're twisting towards you. The trees seem to creak and groan as their limbs stretch in front of you. And suddenly, a bright purple light begins to wash over all of you. And you hear, "I don't know what you're doing in these here woods, but buddy, I think you're in the wrong part of them."
Is it?
Woodward?
Is it? Wait.
Turning your eyes, you see the trees are like, "Oh, what's that?" And you suddenly see a bunch of halflings and gnomes just running up to greet you. "Howdy!" And sure enough, alongside a little fuzzy badger, you see Woodward. You see a little gnome with a nice pot belly and a long beard, mushrooms literally growing on him. His hands stained and dyed with the juices of uncountable fruits, and you can smell that kind of beautiful burnt wood and vanilla scent as he's probably been brewing more amazing booze. "Yeah, hi there. Oh, wow, Lona, is that you? Is it? Wow, I have not seen. Showing this, you look very different. You kind of look half dead. I don't know your two friends. You're blue. That's kind. Well, you know what?
Hi.
But shoot, I'm blue too sometimes. Great to see y'all."
She's gonna immediately turn to Lothar. Do I look half dead? Does this?
No, not at all. You look,
I don't look pale or anything.
No. You're a pinnacle of good health.
Yeah.
Worried.
You
You
know
look great.
the small. Is this normal?
Wait, does she actually look dead at all?
Do I actually look half dead? Hold on.
You look.
On the outside, you look great. Yes, Queen, we stand.
You're right. I am dead inside. How'd you know?
I'm done.
I can't.
That was great.
So Woodward, these are some of our new friends. This is Lothier. He's also a druid. Woodward.
Oh, is this your druid friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woodward?
Wait, yeah, Woodward. Yeah, like the things on a
Woodward.
tree. Yeah.
Oh,
hey.
Woodward. Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am so glad to make your
Yeah.
acquaintance.
Name's Woodward, and this here is Mush. And the big badger, the badger the size of a horse right now, just goes, "Hey, how's it going? My name is Mush. I'm happy to see you." And he just kind of like pokes his cheeks. And you know, I told where there was no way we was ever gonna see you again. I guess I owe him like 20 rocks.
Oh,
Not this one.
no.
Wait. Can the rest of us hear Mush, or is it just Lothier that can hear Mush?
Everyone can hear Mush right now.
Okay, so we've never
Wait.
heard Mush speak.
Oh my gosh. What? Is this your first time? Animals, they're the best to talk to. They're some of my best friends.
PJ, is Nadir around?
Make a religion check. And if anyone else wants to make a Arcana check, Nature check, any sort of Elven
Nature.
lore check, go right ahead.
I got a nat 20 on an Arcana.
Hey,
Nat 20
yo.
Arcana, awesome.
got
24 for Elven lore.
You got what?
24 for Elven
24?
lore.
Elven, got it.
If it matters, it's
30.
34.
Nature.
Eight.
38,
What?
23. Okay, 38 is awesome. So, you all receive a complex series of information bits, and I'm just going to give it to you all at once. You see beyond them this insane city that looks like it defies all laws of physics. You see houses that it kind of looks like if a Dr. Seuss city was real. There's this giant statue in the middle where there's this almost like double helix of stairs that just connects to nowhere, hanging and floating in mid-space. You can even see this kind of fissure. And by the fissure behind it, you see this massive stag. And next to the stag, stroking it gently, you see a tall woman wearing a beautiful green dress of the leaves and moss of the forest with this big crown of antlers. But at the same time, in that fissure, you see what looks like trying to break through an unusual stone, a stone hovering in midair. You begin to realize that this place is just awash with Fey energy. Everything here, it's almost to the point where this city exists in between the realms of this realm and the Faelvanane, the Fey world. Now, those who've been to Mollymoss before understand that this is a very similar city in every way to Mollymoss.
I'm going to lean over to Lothier. Did you accidentally put one of your mushrooms in my canteen?
I absolutely did not. We are not tripping.
Really?
No, this is fey magic or weird stuff. I don't know, but it ain't me.
Huh. I
I
honestly
love
didn't see
how
that coming.
we're officially referring it as tripping now. It's officially called tripping. Lothier going on trips with his mushroom. Of course. Alona goes to Lothier and to Dragon explain. Okay, so gnomes and elves and halflings and they're attached to Fey, right? They've got Fey energy. This
Big fey
city.
energy, right?
Yeah, big Fey energy. And this city is in between the realms of this plane and the Felvanate. And that's Nadir. Hi, Nadir.
Hello, child. Great to see your friends. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, it's so good to see you
Hello.
again. Nadir is the goddess of nature.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've heard the name. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lothier, I think you should make friends.
Oh no, Lothier's like in awe when he hears that. Like, wow. You really are the goddess of nature, right?
That's
All of
right.
it.
Yeah.
You're so amazing. Everything. And he's just dumbfounded. He just starts staring into the space because he's just like,
That's right. All the powers of the green and the cycle of the red, the things that have to eat the things. But we try really hard to do what we can to make sure that they don't suffer too much.
right. There's a natural order to it all. And making sure that order doesn't get unbalanced. Right?
Yes, balance I find is difficult. Because somewhere with the balance you have to sacrifice what you want. It's not been easy.
What brings you here to these trenches?
Oh. I haven't really left the city. The city here with my Fae friends. We've just been talking and having parties.
Oh. I look at Alona. Have you guys been here or places like this before?
Yes. I have. This is a place that is very special. And I haven't been to this one specifically, but I have been to Malimas, which is actually in the larger Adolphon Prime continent, where we met Nadir herself, and that's how Woodward kind of got to build his relationship with her, and where he's been all this time. He's been rebuilding the forests that were destroyed in the war. So Woodward, what are you doing here? Is this a traveling city, or is there something around here that you're trying to fix?
Well, I was trying to heal the world after Korkos kind of destroyed chunks of it. And yeah, sure enough, I walked into one town, and then I came out here, and it's giving me a headache. I can't quite figure out how to get out of this town, to be honest. But it's okay for now.
You're trapped?
How do I put this? Like when you're at a family party and you want to go, but you can't.
I somehow do understand that.
Right. Yeah, like you're trapped, but you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you left, it's just kind of, a bit faux pas for the situation. Maybe people are expecting you to stay a bit longer than you want to, and you're like, oh, but I really gotta go, and then they stop you at the door and start talking to you again.
Right. And here's the thing. I don't know that if I leave, I don't know I'm going to go back to where I was. I think I'm just going to show up somewhere else.
Well, I can tell you this. You don't want to go out that way.
Well, why not?
There are AAEs. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'd never heard of it either. It's I look over at Camouflage. Arcane something.
Aggressive arcanological events.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also,
all right.
How is Camouflage dealing with this?
Yeah.
You see her with her weapon at the ready, this might as well happen. I see so much crazy shit every day.
She's ready to pop off on a bunch of gnomes. Like cast a fireball, do it. Uh,
So, so Woodward says, if it's all the same to you, I think I'm just gonna stay here until I can better figure this out. And while I'm here, I've been learning in ways I can heal all the damage that Korokos did. Because let me tell you, his fire is not the kind of fire that normally works. I ain't seen that kind of fire since.
What do you mean since? Like since the end of the war? Since?
Well, sorta. Yeah, like so you know how he shot green fire and
Right.
it burned like fire, but it didn't act the same way?
I remember it well.
Yeah. I've been trying to treat the land that he's destroyed with this, and it, like I said, doesn't work like fire. I've only seen maybe one other person do something like this. I followed this rumor about a hand of some ominous name, but yeah, it doesn't burn like fire. It kind of burns like acid.
Wait. What are you talking about? A hand? What?
Oh shoot, hold on. Let me make sure I don't remember this wrong. Kind of strokes his beard. Yeah, I heard in I think it was outside Adelphon about a bunch of murders, and they called it the hand because every single one of them had a handprint in their face.
Oh.
But like
Terrifying.
the handprint was the same as like when the fire would breathe and destroy a chunk of land.
I see. Who?
I don't like
I wonder who was doing that. You said you heard someone else was trying to do something to the land, right?
Oh, I don't know about that. There's a lot of druids out there trying to heal this land after the war. So much happened. The hand is the only thing that looked similar. I ain't seen anyone with horrible hands.
Hey, speaking of the war, and you know, speaking of like, so Dragon and I had a wild time 2 episodes back. And
Don't tell him I'm here.
we-
I don't want him to marry me again.
No.
He likes to get engaged. He really does.
No one's gonna marry you.
All right.
what?
that.
Can't do that for a fourth time.
And we're not talking about Tobias. We're talking about Dragon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I heard Tobias. I'm sorry.
No, Tobias is here, but he's back there. So Dragon and I, we entered a dreamlike state where we went into this weird thing. But we know who the Green King is.
Oh yeah.
Shoot. Really? Gonna keep that a secret?
What?
No. We weren't planning on keeping it a secret. We just woke up and then all of a sudden we were in the trenches. And there wasn't really a whole lot of time to explain what had happened. We were just trying to survive. And honestly, I forgot.
Yeah, there was a lot that happened in between Dream, Dead Dragon, and then like Giant Blue Raccoon.
Right.
So yeah, slipped minds.
But okay.
Okay. So we know that the Green King is Koromat, one of the dragon gods. Does Shonovus do that? Does Shonovus do that, Kylie?
No, that's Kylie losing her shit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We killed him in the dream, but his essence escaped from his body and went elsewhere, so he's still out there. He knows we're coming for him. He knows we're trying to stop the Ninth Circle prophecy from happening. And he wants to drown the world.
Drown it? People can swim. Who cares?
Woodward, it's not, not everyone can swim, and it's, it's not like that.
And even if you can swim, what if you were out in the middle of the ocean?
Well, I'm actually with Woodward on this one. I mean, there are such things as boats.
You would have to be in a boat
really
first. Like, what if it? Have you never seen a tsunami?
Have you?
Oh yeah, those are
Yeah.
scary. We had one on the
Yes,
coast.
we saw it in the vision.
Oh, well, I mean, I meant, in real time. It's a vision. This is less scary when you know you can't be hurt by it.
I was pretty scared.
It was a giant wall of water coming at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the water had glowing green eyes. I have a feeling that's exactly what he's planning on doing.
Well, I was focused on that more than the wave.
Oh my god.
Okay, so he's planning on flooding the world with his glowing green eyes. Does that make it any more scary to you?
That'd be some pretty big eyes.
All right.
Anyway,
So there's something about these hands. Seems real familiar. I was looking after. I was told about a druid who had been looking at some information about a hand, something that would be able to help heal a land that was scored. Like I'm wondering if it's the same thing or.
I mean, I don't know. Unless you have a really twisted view of how to heal the world, because the scars that I saw, the shape of a hand, were the exact same kind of burn as the soil that was left behind by the green fire.
yeah.
It's got to be something different. He shakes his head, but he can't get the thought that it's the same somehow out of his mind.
Well, if you think about it this way, I'm a cleric. I have lay on hands. The same hands that heal can harm, and vice versa. So it might be the same.
You think it's a Koromot cleric?
It sounds
Oh
like
my-
it might be some kind of relic or something, maybe.
I don't know. All I know is we have all these pieces and none of them are lining up yet.
Right.
Anyway, Woodward, it was really good to see you, buddy. We gotta keep going.
Yeah.
But we miss you.
Oh. Well, Lona, I miss you too. I miss you, and I miss you, Chio. And I don't know you, Mr. Blue Person and fellow druid, but shoot and shucks, if you're with my friends, that means you must be good people. And I miss you already. I miss them all.
I'll miss you too. And
I
next
miss
time,
you too, and I'll miss Mush.
And you just see Mushes. It's great to see you all. I never thought I'd see you again, and it is a pleasure and a half.
Next time we visit, I'll bring Bun Boys.
I haven't had Bun Boys in forever. I don't get Bun Boys too often, but like I always say, I'll never turn down a bun.
I'll bring a big
Mush
box.
did love buns. Mush loved buns the most.
So this really is your first time talking to Animal, because he could tell like they're surprised. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, it is kind of cool. I mean, is this what you do all the time?
Yeah, I talk to trees. Sometimes they say stuff, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just look at you and go, "Meh." But
You've had a tree turn away from you? That's
no, maybe
mean-
not a tree, maybe more like a small flowering plant. But
No,
Yeah, I was gonna
he's
say,
onto
yeah.
something. I tell you, trees are very root. They're very root to me. Every time I talk to them, that's a pun for free. You get to keep that one.
I mean,
No, they've just been really soiled.
Oh!
Now, I don't know about you, GM, but I think that deserves a hero point. Yes, it does.
all these jokes are a little watered down.
I swear to God.
Oh.
I swear to God.
So PJ, what do you and your party do? We tell very deep stories and then make dumbass puns, and I love it.
So for every pun, we get a hero point, right?
I mean, it's got to be a
I
good
got a whole
pun.
bunch. I got a whole bunch from this weekend. They're all Cal themed. I got a whole bunch I can just cash in right now.
Wait, I completely unrelated to what we're doing right now. I do need a cow pun.
Are you gonna be
God.
a coward?
Ooh.
Don't be utterly ridiculous.
Look, I think we all need to move on because we've just been milking this for all it's worth.
I can't give you a hero point, but I could if I would. Or I would
mean,
if I could.
I'll always take a villain point, but that's a different story. Moving right along. Woodward says that while he can't quite leave, by the way, this town has a big sign on it that just looks like a Disney sign. And in big words, it has the words Honeycrumb. The city of Honeycrumb.
It's a cute name for a place you can't leave.
Yeah,
Sounds like a prison.
Well, Molly Moss is one of those cities where it's like you blink and you're in it, blink and you're out. So, you know, Fae people, that's how they do their amazing magical cities. But he does ask the trees to let you out and to kind of help you on your way.
Yay.
I tip my hat.
You see one of the trees like plucks a leaf and tips it and then puts it back and it gets reabsorbed back on the branch.
That's cute.
So
right.
Was that?
I know, I was just saying all right.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry, step by you. So the trees lead you and kind of guide you almost like they're bending the foliage around them, and before you know it, you get spit out, and staring right in front of you is the front gate to New Jack City.
Are you kidding? We just had to go in the woods.
The woods, to be fair, no one freaking knew about. Even Camouflage didn't know this weird Fae pocket existed in the woods on the outskirt of their insane city.
Okay.
Man, what did we do that like hours and hours ago?
I mean, the only one with the brain among us is the one who came up with it, and I look at Chio.
Going.
Hey.
No. I mean, like, you got like a book brain, but Chio,
smart.
Chio was like, we need a place with cover. I wasn't thinking about it.
Dragon looks at both Morel and then at Tobias and then just nods. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Hey, we're NPCs. We're not here to be leading the way.
No.
We're here to enrich your environment and give you whimsical characters to bounce off of.
Dragon's just had a lot of experiences with Tobias and with Morel.
Since we're changing energies, I want to take a quick moment to give a huge shout out. I just saw it. Thank you so much to, and I'm probably gonna get this wrong, Thy Voice Released donated $100 to our coffee.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Thank you so much for the donation to our coffee. That is seriously amazing, and it means the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if everyone doesn't mind, I may treat that as like a level 5 hype train in essence of, giving you all a fun surprise. So we'll see where this goes.
Ooh.
Yes,
Again, thank you so much
please.
for the donation Thy Voice Released. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So the level 5 hype train things are always fun. But I also want to ask, how does Camouflage look when they get close to the gate?
They seem fine. You're
Okay.
walking to the front gate, yeah? Kylie, looks like you want to say something?
While we're just walking up to it, I am going to ask Camouflage. Hey, do you know what year it is?
Yeah, of course. And she gives the exact year.
God damn it. I was hoping she'd give the year that I don't know. I need something to get from this information.
So you walk up to the front gate. You see this massive concrete wall and this big iron door. you see this little wooden, painted a drab green kind of makeshift military check-in station. It's got one big door, a big window with like plate glass, and you can see clear as day right into it. Ugly beat up wood. There's an unusual green box on one end of it, and kind of like a really rusty spring coiled cot. And you see massive green sliding drawers with a bunch of other small little knickknacks and things on the wall, and a rifle hanging on hooks. You see two people wearing uniforms, one wearing a metal helmet and a brighter green uniform, and another gentleman, a larger, heavier set gentleman, bald head, kind of chomping on a cigar. At the big door, you see a lone soldier staring at this giant door. In front of the door, there's a long arm, and the arm is raising. Two guards standing out front, just like the mutters. No mud on their uniforms at all. The big metal doors just and land heavy. This is about the time you walk up there. The soldier has a green canvas bag slung over their shoulder, dress uniform, hat on, no rifle, no nothing, and you see him staring through the two doors. Getting close, you see him say, "I didn't know it was so big. It wasn't that big when I was there. God, there's no roof on nothing. It's just a bunch of buildings and sky. It's too loud. I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to go back."
Dragon would. Dragon would like to walk up to him and just put a hand on his shoulder. You just come from the trenches?
Yeah, I just finished up my first volunteer.
The time back from battle can be tough. But you find these little moments that remind you why you were fighting in the first place. Take your time and spend as much time as you can with those you care about and those you were fighting for to begin with. It'll help.
Yeah, I got a mom and pa. I got a crazy uncle. I got a Spitfire sister. They're gonna miss me. I don't know though. I don't know if I'm ready to go back yet. I think I'm just gonna go back to the trenches for a little while. That sounds better.
He's gonna give Dragon's just gonna give him a little push toward town. Take some time to remind yourself what you're fighting for.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Because I'm so good at these.
I want you to get this. So
Can
bad.
I aid? Can I aid Dragon?
Sure.
Okay, so that's a 15 on the die. Diplomacy, so it's a 22.
22. Okay. What was your aid, Sydney? So sorry, what was that?
17.
17. Okay. So as you say, when you say, kind of looks at you. His face is shaking, his eyes blurry and bright pink as he's trying to fight tears. Maybe that's what I should do. See my family again, see my Spitfire sister, have a few drinks with the pals. I can always volunteer again, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. And as he walks, he is shaking, terrified, every step as he gets closer to home.
How old does he look?
Oh, he's got to be like an 18-year-old kid.
So I just, he's technically looks the same age as Dragon looks,
Mm-hmm.
but Dragon's gonna call, "Hey kid," and he's gonna flip him a gold coin. First round's on me.
Thanks, mister. I'm going to make sure I never use this money. But every time I take a drink, I'll salute old Blue.
All right. Be
He
safe.
turns around and walks away. Gives you a quick little salute. Camouflage looks you all. That's very nice of you. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate you for that.
And you see Dragon just get this more serious look on his face as he looks back to Camouflage and just, war is hell. And when you're really young, you glorify it until you're there. You learn a lot, but it takes a lot from you, and it's good to remind yourself what you were fighting for to begin with.
She nods knowingly. Kind of racks open the slide and pops out the clip. Again, this makes no sense if you know gun mechanics, but for some strange reason, this is how her weapon operates. And when she does that, jettisons with a loud cling and ring. One of the unspent bullets comes flying out of her gun. She catches it midair and tosses it to you all. That's from me to you. A little souvenir. You go anywhere in this town, you show them that bullet, tell them Camouflage sent you. Drinks all night for free.
Sounds great. Maybe you can have a drink with us sometime.
No, this is as far as I go. I don't go back in there. I stay out here.
Protecting kids like that, I'm assuming.
It's what I live for. So go ahead, take one big look at that big, wide city. It's the most beautiful place you'll ever see. And as you look back, she is gone. Vanished. Like a ghost in the trenches. Kylie, give me a perception check.
Damn. It's like, I got to come out of here unscathed. Hell yeah.
No.
So close.
No. Do you have a
One.
hero point?
I do not. Wait.
Not even. Wait, yes, you do
I
from
do.
a pun.
I do. I just had that other
You
pun.
do. The pun saved.
The pun!
Okay. 27.
27. You see from that little check-in station, the gentleman, the kind of angry, hefty looking, bald gentleman with the cigar, staring you down and staring down Camouflage. And then when Camouflage vanishes, just staring, looking at the space that she was at. And he just looks at you, waves you over.
I'm just going to slink back. I feel like everyone's like in front of her probably. Because she's low-key the mom. She's more of the drunk aunt. Let's be real. And is going to like kind of tiptoe back and turn and like walk quickly.
All right.
Yeah, now that you mention it, Dragon's definitely the drunkle.
The drunkle. The want and the drunkle. The wine aunt and the drunk uncle.
You saw her too, right?
That's right.
What the hell is going on?
Bureau's been investigating her since she first appeared.
Investigating?
Yep.
Are you gonna add on to that statement or?
Soldier, I hereby relieve you of duty. Go be somewhere else. Yes, sir. And the guy leaves, and he closes the door behind him. So it's just you and this old guy. So we call her Camouflage.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, that is not her given name at birth.
Yeah, she's a kid.
Yeah, she was a kid. He walks over, picks something off the wall. You see a long metal chain with this long metal medallion at the end of it with a bunch of writing just riveted into it. A couple of years back, we got a report about this soldier that made it through basic. It was a fluke. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't run. Hell, she couldn't see. If it wasn't for the love of everyone else around her, she probably would have flunked right out. Hell, the fact that she was in basic was an absolute medical anomaly, and she should have been ash canned.
So then how'd she get through?
Everyone helped her out. Everyone went 110% to make sure she could get through. When she got here, she's put in every single trench she could find. She went on every patrol, constantly having medical issues. And then Medivac finds her bleeding from the gut, pull her out of a battlefield. Real bad. Real bad. Last dying words were, I just want to make sure everyone gets home. Her name was Stephanie Reyes. She was a young girl. She was a mutter. She died a mutter. She just wanted to fight. She wanted to live with her friends, fight the good fight. She died in an ambush. Reports say that she basically jumped in front of the dragon so everyone else could run away. She took a serious fatal wound. Her last words were, I want to make sure everyone gets home safe. And then, 3 weeks later, Camouflage pops up. Starts saving lives left, right, and center.
But she has no recollection of who she was.
I don't think she wants to know.
I can't say I don't blame her.
Just Drake, I hear
Bureau.
this.
I don't believe you're there. Are you there? I don't believe you're there. Okay. He continues to say Bureau has been investigating her since her first sighted appearance.
What trench did she die at?
She died outside the 20th trench. Second worst fighting in all damn 20 of them.
Did the sighting start there?
Sighting started all over the place. Different reports. 15th, 17th, bright and early in the morning. 10th for lunch. Started appearing everywhere.
And it's still an active investigation?
Still an active investigation. We've been keeping it quiet for morale's sake. Apparently she's a damn hero to everybody.
She saved some of our asses even.
Yeah. She's good at her job. I'll give her that.
So if I look into this, am I going to get arrested or anything?
Honestly, there's so much damn red tape around this. I might need you to look into it if you don't mind. We're trying to get an answer in this whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see what I can find, but nothing's for free around here.
Of course not. First things first. These are her dog tags. She seems to love everyone that comes through that mud. It doesn't matter who you are. So I'm pretty sure she'd want you to have them. They're yours now. Which is convenient. You're going to need once you get to the Bureau to access her file. The entire investigation. I don't care if she's good or evil. I think we all know she's great. I just want to know what the hell she is. Because I don't know if she's making things worse or better out there because of the damn curse of physics. Now, that being said, what can I do for you, little lady? Room and board would be nice for me and my friends. All right. I can get on the horn and make sure you get top class accommodations while you're here. Anything else?
We'll figure it out as information comes in.
All right. We'll just leave that one a nebulous on the table favor for later.
All right. And you said your name was?
Then you don't need to know.
Good. Then we're in agreement.
Exactly, stranger.
She's going to turn around and walk out.
Yeah.
So, everyone, I got us a place to stay.
Oh.
Wow.
And it holds up the bullet. And I'll get us drinks.
Oh.
And that is where we're going to end episode 28. And if the special investigation into the true backstory of or the true reality of camouflage isn't enough, a little bit of backstory to Buddha isn't enough, don't worry. There's going to be a part 2 to this, depending on where all this goes. Until then, we'll see you next time when we come back here live from New Jack City, the most shiniest pearl in the entire oyster of the world. Until then, everyone, you have a great night. Let's say our goodbyes, starting with Sidney. Sidney, please tell them who you are and where they can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello! My name is Sidney. I played Alona. You can find me all over the internet at Sidney Rubino. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I got cool things coming up I can't talk about yet, but one day I will. Yeah, I'm here every Wednesday. I love these guys. These are my friends, and I love them, and they're wonderful. And come watch us again. Yay! Wow.
All right. Well, next up, we have Wes. Wes, please tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hi, everybody. I'm Wes Johnson at Wes_IRL on all of the things. You can find me Fridays for Yeet for Initiative, featuring PJ as one of my lovely players. We kind of switch roles on Fridays. But yeah, that's it. This was fun.
All right. Well, next up, we have Randy. Randy, it's so good to see you again. Please tell me who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Randy Alvarenga. You can follow me on Twitter at Roller Raja. That's ROLLER RAJA. And I do a lot of cool stuff all over the place. Some Gen Con TV, playing Shadowrun, and some projects coming up that I'm excited to share with you. There's a really cool one with some familiar faces from this group. So come check us out when that information goes live.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Well, last and certainly not least, and definitely missed, Kylie, please tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. You can find me at Kai's Wonderful Life all over the internet, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that good stuff. I, too, have some things coming up that I cannot talk about just yet, but get ready, because they're going to be fun. When I'm not here with these amazing, amazing group of cast, I am over on a few things. Let's see where I'm going to start first, because my brain is flatlined. I will be guest starring over at the World's Guild here on Twitch on Saturdays, a time that I don't know yet, but it's coming up. It's every other week. I will be in it eventually in the next coming weeks. Look out for that. Also, I am over on the World Tree Quests here on Twitch, Sundays, 9 a.m. I do know the time for that one sometimes. And we are playing these kind of misfit villains trying to be heroes again, maybe switching back to villains. I'm getting married, so like that's cool. So like come check it out. I play the sassy gunslinger. Yeah. That's it. That's all I have.
That's great. Well, that just leaves little me. My name is PJ Megaw. You can find me all over the internet at pj.megaw, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Come find me, confirm me, and let's have fun when I'm not here with these amazing legends. And I love to see your faces every Wednesday. You can find me here also Monday, starting next week, August 8th, as Wayward Arcadium is coming back for season 2. Class is back in session, and it's gonna be crazy. There's a lot of some funny stuff we're gonna be moving forward from season 1. Also, of course, Wes_IRL over there doing Heat for Initiative. Queen's Courts Games podcast coming out, I think next Tuesday, almost every other Tuesday, for TANS, the All Night Society vampire podcast, and a bunch of other fun, exciting things. And I'll let you know when that time comes. But until then, see you same Nat time, same Nat channel here for Edge of Legend. And we're going to be rating soon. Also, before we go, I want to thank Wes, who has been doing the TDing tonight, kind of picking the ball up. Thank you so much, Wes. That being said, we're going to be rating Hero Zone. Some good folks over there. And what should our raid cry be?
Camouflage.
Camouflage? All right. Let's go with camouflage. I like that. Camouflage is pretty good. All right, everyone. Let's see here. Sorry to be leafing you all too soon. Tyran Wanderer. You came in clutch with that great one there. All right. That being said, we're going to be rating in 3, 2, 1.